We just watched the Knicks crumble to the Atlanta Hawks. Ruined a great game by Knox, or was having a great game by Knox. Nice game by Moutier. We'll be hitting rock bottom pretty soon, folks. This upcoming schedule is brutal. Let's go.
Yo, Sam.
Knicks family, what's popping, man? We just seen the Knicks crumble. I don't even know if I want to say down the stretch, crumble in the second half. And man, like my boy Ron Cleveland says, you know, I didn't think we was gonna win the game. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think we was gonna win the game, and obviously we didn't win the game. And you know, do I want to say things are getting bad? Well, I mean, they've already been bad, but you know, we're about to go on to a stretch that's going to really take the life out of this team and out of the fans, most likely. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people are, you know, embrace the tank and da 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 da. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Teams like this, we should. Anyway, I'm not even gonna say that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know, I don't know. I don't even know what to say, man. We're going to recap the game. We're going to talk about the game. I got Mark in the chat. I'm sure a lot of you guys, you know, followed me and Mark as we talked, you know, and hung out throughout the game. We had some great conversations. If you weren't there, you guys really missed it. We talked about a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? We had a good time talking about it too. You know, we talked about the game. We talked about hip hop. We talked about movies. We talked about society. We had some real good conversations in there. The chat was involved. You know, that was nice. It was on the 24/7 stream. You know, we jumped in straight from the 24/7 stream. You know what I mean? So we about to go ahead and get the Mark. You know what I'm saying? Get Mark's take on the game. I want to get you guys' take on the game. We're going to break down the statistics, of course. You know, and look at the box scores and, you know, talk about trade rumors. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff tonight. We got a lot of things to talk about that's going on in Knick land. You know what I mean? So, without further ado, let's get to my man Mark. Let's see what Mark is, you know, see what Mark is thinking, see what he's talking about. I kind of know what he's thinking, what he's talking about, because we was on the game together the whole time, talking about, you know, these New York Knicks and everything that's going on. Hey, Mark, could you do me a favor? Could you turn that down in the back a little bit because we can hear it over the stream?
I got you, bro.
Mark, what's your take,
man?
What was your take? What's your take?
They stopped going to Knox. I was watching. They stopped going to him. Tim Hardaway got Tim Hardaway again. He went Tim Hardaway again.
Uh-huh.
The last thing I seen from that game was Tim Hardaway shooting that three when we down 6, 2 minutes into the game. What was that? What was that?
Yeah, that was
it went Tim Hardaway-centric. That's what it went. Look at our content.
Yeah,
they stopped going to Knox. They stopped feeding him. And for him, you have to keep feeding him the way he was playing in the first half.
Yeah, Knox had 11 shot attempts in the first half. 11 shot attempts in the first half. He ended up with 17 shot attempts, so that means he only had 6 in the second half. He had 21 points in the first half. Knox tonight ended up with 24 points. He had 21 points in the first half of the game. And, you know, we've seen this on multiple occasions now, right? That Kevin Knox either is it that he... Okay, so here's the question. I want to know from the chat. I want to know from you, Mark. Is it that Kevin Knox is fading in the second half? Or is it because you have people like Hardaway or other people that decide that they're going to take the shots instead of looking and continuing to try to get Kevin Knox involved? What's your take on it?
See, Moutier had 30. That means in the second half, he took it upon himself. He stopped looking for Knox like how you know. first quarter playing behind Knox. In the second half, he saw in front of Knox. That's what it play in front. Moody had to play behind because he was the one that was off the first half. He was.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up on me, Mark. Breaking up.
I'm blaming it on the point guard.
All right, so you're blaming it on Moutier, and you know what? You're putting it on Moutier, and I agree with you, right? And that's where, that's where I think we need a more heady. We need a point guard that really is about controlling the game and putting people in position, because at that point, that Kevin Knox was 7 for 11. He was shooting 72.7% at halftime, right? When your point guard needs to know, we're going to see if we can keep this going. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't keep it going, then you go away and you do something else. But that's where the point guard has to be that decision maker on the floor. And I don't see not one point guard that we put out there who is the actual decision maker on the floor. We don't have one that, like, Moutier is playing well, right? He had 32 points tonight. He's playing well.
He's playing for himself, right? Sometimes.
But he's not really controlling the game, in my opinion. He's scoring. Sometimes he's getting assists.
That's why he's not a starting point.
He's shooting a great percentage from the field. He's shooting 46.7% or whatever it is from the field for the season. But I think the next step, and I'm not ready to say that he can't do it. But I think the next step is for him to really be the decision maker on the floor, to learn how to be that decision maker on the floor. I think that's the next step for him. Like we were talking about in the chat, we were talking about Mike Conley. That's what Mike Conley brings. Mike Conley can give you 17, 18 points a game, 6, 7, 8 assists per game, but he also brings that leadership quality, that leadership ability to the game, where he is the one who makes the decisions on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the next step for Moutier. I mean, I'm not ready to definitively say that he can't be a starting point guard in the NBA. Definitively, I'm not going to say that, because I know that he's 22 and he's still learning how to be a point guard in the NBA.
And the thing is, too, I believe just put him in the G League for a game or two.
Moutier?
It's just
put Moutier in?
Frank. He has to go to the G League for a game or two. He has to. Something is not clicking for him.
I mean, I already know what's not clicking for him. I'm gonna say it again. I don't think the G League is gonna do him any good. Frank plays. Frank has a certain style of game that he plays, and I don't think it's gonna change by him being in the G League. I think it's gonna take a different type of system for us to see what Frank can be. That's just my opinion on it.
Hold on. People saying it's not Moutier's fault. Bro, he's the point guard. He ended up with 30. Why is he taking the shots that Kevin Knox was taking all game? He was the guy that kept us in the game. You to the hot hand. That's what a point guard is supposed to do. Moutier was not supposed to play in front of Knox. He was having the greatest game for his career.
Yeah. I think but so you're saying you're putting it on Moutier.
Because he's not going to take the ball. He's not going to just take the ball from him. That's not who he is right now. That's not his makeup.
That's true.
So Moutier, when they was looking for him in the first quarter, the ball, you have to force feed the kid for him to do what he needs to do.
Right. That's true. Kevin Knox. He's not that type of player where he's going to go and just take the ball. You know what I'm saying?
And then you got Tim. That will take the ball and take the shots that he took. The joke.
I think the thing about that is that Kevin Knox just doesn't have that level of respect yet. He hasn't been in the league long enough. He's only played 30-something games in his career. You know what I'm saying? One day Kevin Knox will be that kind of guy. I believe so. All right, and then I seen Siobhan, you know what I'm saying, says, "Say it, Sim, your Messiah's buns." No, I'm not going to say that because I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? He may be buns in Fizdale and what Fizdale wants him to do, because that's not what he does. But I think that, Frank, like I said, I fully believe it. Frank is not the player that Frank becomes. Is not going to become that under Fizdale and with the New York Knicks. He's going to go someplace else. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but sooner or later he's going to go someplace else, and he's going to play in whatever style of basketball. Whoever either signs him or trades for him, they're going to know exactly how they want to use him. The Knicks don't know how they want to use Frank, because he's not today's prototypical point guard. You know what I'm saying? So they're not sure what to do with him. Is that the Knicks' fault? Is that Frank's fault? I'm not sure if it's anybody's fault. I just think they don't know what to do with Frank right now. Frank is, because, in my opinion, because the Knicks aren't sure where they want to put him. I don't think Frank understands what he's supposed to do. Or understands where he fits in. You know what I'm saying? And with the type of personality that he has and the type of game that he plays, that's not going to be good for him. Frank needs to have the rules set up for him and say, you do it this way, do it that way. That's what I believe. So, I just don't think that, he's going to ever excel in this system. I don't think he's ever going to excel with the... I don't even know if I want to say system, because I don't know if we have any systems here. I just don't think he's ever going to excel playing this style of basketball. That's just my opinion. He's not this style of player. Freelance. This is more of a freelance type of system. I don't think he's a freelance type of player, and I don't think he's ever going to excel in this system. That's just it. I don't know if we have a system, but playing this kind of game, I don't think he's going to excel playing in this, the way that Fizdale wants to play. And I'm not saying that it's wrong for Fizdale to play that style. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying I don't think that Frank is going to excel playing this style. Fizdale style may work. We may win a championship playing it. I just don't think he's going to excel playing that style. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And he may, excel someplace else. You're always going to get the people who are ready to just straight jump to a conclusion and say this player is a bust, that player is a bust. 2 weeks ago, everybody in the same chat was saying Kevin Knox was a bust.
He's not a bust.
I mean, I'm just saying, people are always real definitive. Everybody wants to be definitive. You know what I'm saying? 3 weeks ago, people were ready to say that Kevin Knox was a bust. It was all over in the chat. You can go back and look at the videos and see it. It was all over in the chat. You know what I'm saying? 3 weeks ago, people were ready to say that Kevin Knox was a bust. Nobody ever wants to give anyone any time to do whatever, to develop, to grow. But, in my opinion, playing this style of basketball, Frank's not going to excel. I just don't think he will play in this style of basketball. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. But anyway, back to the thing with Kevin Knox. I don't know if it's Kevin Knox, or I don't know if it's the team not, really finding Kevin Knox, when he's hot and taking advantage of him when he's hot. But he's been fading I don't want to say every single second half, but he's been the last few games where he's played well in the first half, he fades in the second half. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it's him or if it's his teammates. But how do we get him to do the same thing in the second half? For a guy who scored 21 points in the first half off of 11 shots, I think that he should have taken 10, 11, 12, 15 shots in the second half, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
He should have took 20.
He should have took 20. That's how I feel about it. Guillermo, what's popping, man? I see you up here. What do you think, man?
Man, I'm trying to watch the game right now. I have to wait till my Fubo thing. I have to wait like 3 hours, so I'm trying to watch the highlights, man. Okay. Kevin Knox had 21 points in the first quarter, or 17 points in the first quarter?
17 points in the first quarter. Yeah, 17 points in the first quarter. 17
He
points in the
ended
first
up with
quarter. Ended up with
24,
24.
8 for 17, 3 from 7, 3 for 7 from the 3-point line. Why did we go away from him?
I don't know. That's the question.
Because Moody had 30.
That's the question. That's what we're trying to figure out.
Sorry to cut you off. Like, you just mentioned this, Sim. I would scream in Moutier's ear, get this damn guy the ball. Or you know what? I have to watch the game. I don't know if the Hawks kind of adjusted their game to stop it or make it hard for him to get the ball in ISO sets. But I'm going to run this guy around these Steve Novak picks until I get him open looks. Like, I don't understand. Like, Woodson would do this at times. If it wasn't Melo, I remember he did this thing to Shumpert. Shumpert came in, hit 2 or 3 threes against the Pacers in the series that we lost, and took him right out.
Right.
And I'm like, what you know, how can you got to feed the hot hand? Walt Clyde Frazier says this all the time. He says, look, I don't care unless the guy is dying tired, you feed him the ball until he goes cold.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm gonna listen to you guys because I still have to watch the highlights. I don't want to judge too quickly, but I'm looking at this box score. I see Knox had only 24 points, even though he could have had way more. Moutier had 32, but it had to have been our defense because, you know, we were up by 10, I think, at one point, 34-24 when I was looking at the highlights. So I'm gonna listen to you guys. I'm gonna shut up, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm looking in the chat. You know, some people are saying, you know, just admit it. Kevin Knox fades in the second half. I don't know. I just think that I think that his teammates, you know, his teammates should help him out. You know, if he's not, you know, if he was hot in the first half, test him out. Get him 3, 4, 5 shots in the second half, right off top, and see if he's hot. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't the type of player to be taking 20 shots. Period.
Who?
So what are y'all talking? People say, oh, but Moutier was 20. Moutier don't have the right to take 20 shots a game on no team. No. So don't tell me that it was not took the ball out of the kid's hand, because if you watch the first half, they was feeding him. He's getting his points, girls, and transition. Don't do that. Moutier should not have a 20 shot game. No.
Well,
no.
I mean, you have to give it up for Moutier tonight, though. He's 32 points. He was 3 for 7 from 3. That's 42. That's 43% from the field. Yeah. He had 4 assists. He did have 3 turnovers. Now he had 1 rebound. And listen, I'm not saying, I don't care how many shots any player takes. If you can score the ball, if you're taking good shots, you can put it in. You're efficient. I don't care how many shots you take. But still, Kevin Knox had 11 field goal attempts in the first half. Only 6 field goal attempts in the second half, right? I do agree with you, Mark, though, that Moutier should have tried to find Kevin Knox a little bit more. You know, find ways to get him the ball in a position so that he can score.
Y'all think Moutier is a starting point guard? Keep thinking.
But Sim, can I ask you this, Sim?
Yeah.
We don't have guys. We don't have selfless guys, enough selfless guys on this team, right? I mean, you know, Vonleh is a good guy, but he's not a vocal leader or whatever. You know, Lance Thomas is a little bit too injured, and he's not really producing enough to. Because I just feel like, you know, if it was Chris Paul, you know, Billups, Kidd, you know, those guys, they would, especially Kidd when he was in Jersey, you know, and I hated that Jersey team, but I would watch them, and they would force feed when Kenya Martin got hot or when Richard Jefferson got hot. They fed. They would feed those guys. Like, they would force those guys. The damn Celtics, when Paul Pierce was hot with that little baseline game or his game from the foul line, they would feed him. And I'm like, I'm just wondering. You know, is it Hardaway is never gonna be like, hey, Moutier, feed the ball to Knox. So I'm just wondering, is it a thing of that? Because why, if the coach is not doing it, the coach should be like, all right, we're not feeding this guy, I'm going to take you out the game. But that obviously didn't happen. So is the coach aware of what's happening? Like, does he have a feel for the game? Like, I don't know. You think he's getting overwhelmed?
And you know, I think, you know, one thing, like you mentioned Chris Paul and Jason Kidd and those guys, I think that's the next development in Moutier's game, though. Understanding, understanding and recognizing situations, being a leader, being a facilitator. Well, I guess I don't want to say facilitator, but being the leader, being the person who's calling the shots on the floor. Because I don't feel like he calls shots. Like he really calls out the shots on the floor.
Not at all.
He's just playing the game. Right, I feel like he's just playing the game, but not really calling out these shots on the floor. He's not really the guy. Like when you're talking about Chris Paul, Jason Kidd, Mike Conley, who we was talking about earlier, the coach can sit back because he knows that these guys are going to really control everything that's on the floor. And I think that's what Mark is getting at about Moutier is that while he's able to,
I seen the other day,
like while
James Harden.
Hold on, like while he's able to score the ball. Right, he's not the guy that's going to really control the game. You know what I'm saying? And like make the decision on who's going to get the ball when. I mean, you really, and in order to do that, I mean, honestly though, to do that, either you have a truly high basketball IQ, right? To do it at a really young age, or you've been in the league. Like someone like Chris Paul could do it from the time that he gets into the league because his basketball IQ is high. Someone like Moutier might need more time to learn the game before he feels like he can be that person who controls it. But he doesn't do that now. He just plays the game instead of controlling the game. And those are two very different things.
Yeah.
I gotta do some homework on who these assistant coaches are because I'm watching this, right? I watched the game. I didn't watch the game tonight.
Keith Smart.
And I'm like, yeah, well, Keith Smart's not a good coach, but I don't know, Sim. It's like, even when I play my intramurals, right, I would scream at the guys. I'm not a coach or anything, but I play with these guys. I'm screaming like, yo, force feed to this guy. He has a mismatch. Go to this guy, like drive on him. He can't handle you when you go to your right. Or, take him to his left. He doesn't move. He doesn't shuffle his feet well. I don't see us attacking another team's strength. Like Kent Bazemore, or whatever his name is, Bazemore, he should not be scoring. He's a good player, solid player, but he shouldn't be killing us. Like, they got Collins, they got Trae Young, Bazemore. Those are guys we got to stop. And I think those are the three highest scorers tonight. Like, I just don't see, like, I don't see us going all out, attacking the other team at their core, like attack a certain weakness or like attack a certain strength and neutralize them. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't see that it's cerebral intelligence. So we don't have it from the players, and I don't see it from the coaches. Like, I'm not trying to get them physical too much. I'm giving them time. I'm being patient. But it's like, when does that happen? Because everyone's like, oh, we have to wait till guys. Why do we have to wait till guys get traded? Just do it now. Implement the damn system or something where it's like, we're going to attack this team. We're going to play the routes or something. I just get confused, man. I'm looking at 17 points in the first quarter. And I was like, all right, when I look at the box score, I better see like 36 from Knox. And I see 24. Yeah. And it just doesn't make any sense. The Hawks aren't a good team. Right. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's assistant coaches. I don't know if we have to bring some veterans over to instill it in these guys, man. But if we have to get some veterans to come over to teach these guys how to play point guard, that's pretty embarrassing from a guy who supposedly coached Mike Conley, man. I don't know.
I seen games where Rondo could control the game without scoring. He just dominates the game. Moutier is not even that type of point guard.
Right. I mean, everything you guys said is right. I agree with everything you guys said. Let me get to this call real quick. All right, let me get to this call, and I'll get right back to you. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, what's going on, man? Like, I had a conversation about Moutier, man, and it took me a second to calm down because I hear a bunch of blasphemy right now coming from Mark. First off, y'all talking about feeding a hot hand. Who is the hottest hand on the Knicks? Who has been the hottest hand on the Knicks? It's Moutier. And y'all talking about, like, taking advantage of mismatches. If memory serves me right, Trae Young is a huge mismatch for Moutier.
I agree with you that Moutier is, has been hot. But in this game, when you break it down to this game, Kevin Knox was the hot player going into the half, right? Going into the half, Kevin Knox was the hot player. I mean, Moutier had, done well. Well, what we're saying is, I don't think anyone is hating. I mean, I can only speak for myself. I'm not
I'm not
hating
saying
on
you.
Moutier.
I'm not saying you.
Yeah, I'm not hating on
saying in
Moutier. I'm
particular
not
who's
sure
not.
if, Mark is hating on Moutier. I think what we're trying to say is, as the point guard, right? As the point guard, you gotta realize, okay, Knox was having the best game of his career in the first half. The first half was like the best half that he's had in his career, right? Sure. Why not try to see if we can, as the point guard, keep it going? See if he can keep it going. See what he can do. And if not, okay, well, now I'm going to go ahead and take it over.
Well, all right, but see, what you just said right there, I think that was the case. Because, like, if you look at Moutier's mentality, like, if you really watch the games, I'm not saying that you don't, Moutier is quick to give up the ball. He really is a pass-first point guard.
No, but I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about him just being pass first. He is. Moutier shares the ball. I'm not saying that Moutier is a gunner at all. I really don't think he is. I think Moutier is a facilitator. But I'm just talking about him controlling the game as far as saying, you know what, Kevin Knox, I'm calling your number. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do this right here, right now. Get Knox the ball. And if Hardaway is wilding out, pulling off, some whatever, doing whatever he does, he's like, you know what? Move out the way. And maybe he just hasn't built that kind of trust yet. You know what I mean? And I'm saying that's the next.
I get what you're saying.
I'm saying that's the next.
Like, you know how it is as far as the point guard goes. You give the ball to somebody, they make a couple of shots, you start trusting them. I feel like in the second half, it wasn't Moutier who stopped feeding Knox the ball. It was more Frank Ntilikina who wasn't feeding Knox the ball. And when Knox got cold, Moutier followed suit. He didn't feed him as well. You know what I mean? It's one of those things to where Moutier, again, was the hottest person on that team. You talking about feeding the hot hand? That's what Moutier did. That's what. I
don't know. I think in the beginning of that, because you saying Frank. I don't even know how much time they spent. A little bit of time on the court together, not as much as Moutier and Knox did. I think that. I think I'm just saying this. The next evolution of Emmanuel Moutier's game is to be the guy that controls the game, not just plays the game. You know what I'm saying? Control the game. I think that's the next evolution of it. In order for Moutier to be, listen, we know he can, we're seeing that he can score the basketball, right? And we know he can be a decent passer. I think the next part of his game is to really learn how to control the game. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the next part. That's the next evolution for him, is to learn how to control the game. And Fars, to tell you the truth, Fars, I may have been talking, but I was watching the game. I was watching the game for sure. And I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to this guy in the chat. I was watching the game. You know what I'm saying? Just because me and Mark were having a conversation and we were having conversations, I was watching it. So, I am capable of multitasking. You know what I mean? But I think that that's the next evolution of Moutier's game, though. You know what I'm saying? Is to learn how to be the guy who controls the game. Like we were talking about, someone like Chris Paul really does control the game. Like when you have a point guard that can control the game, you don't even need the coach to make the calls for you, because that point guard knows what to call, when to call, how to call it, and knows who he wants to get in position and things like that. I'm not expecting Moutier to be there right now because he's still learning how to be a point guard in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Last year when he was, he was with Denver last year, he was like on the bench. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't the main guy. He came in last year with Jeff Hornacek. He was the starter, but he wasn't really in shape. This year he's coming in, he's in better shape. And I just think that that's the next evolution of his game, to really learn how to control the floor. You know what I'm saying? And control. Then that way Fizdale can sit back. If Moutier is the guy going forward, Moutier can sit back because he knows Moutier is going to make all the decisions for him. And now he can sit back and make adjustments and do those type of things. It's a process to get there, though. You know what I mean?
All right, man.
Yeah.
I got one more thing to say, man,
right.
and this is directed to who's smart and whoever is hating on Moody. Y'all gotta face it. This kid is putting up the numbers. Again, Fizz loves him.
He's putting up numbers.
Management team love what they're saying from him. He is gonna be our future point guard, yo.
Okay.
He is.
Yo, he might
in
be.
In terms of paying people big dollars to be our point guard, that's highly unlikely. Who would want to come to New York right now?
Yo, I'm gonna tell you what. I hope. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hope that Moutier I hope he continues and he learns how to be that guy that can really be that leader out there on the floor, because I hope that because if so, you know what I'm saying, at least for this year, we'd be able to get him at a good deal. You know what I mean?
Facts.
We'd be able to get him at a good deal, and then he come in and continue. Hopefully, he continues to play the way that he was playing. Me and Mark was talking about it, and I was saying if I was the Knicks, he continues to do what he's doing, right? I would give Moutier a contract. Depending on looking at as everything plays out in free agency, I look to give him a contract. That's like 2 years. A 2-year contract, but you can opt out after. I mean, the Knicks will have a team option after the first year, right? This way, you get a chance to see, is it for real? And then if it's for real in the first year, of the new contract, you pick up the team option, and if it's for real in the second year, now you bless them. You know what I'm saying? But okay. I would want to see. I would love to see. I would love to see him move forward with it. Honestly, listen. I've said, time and time again, I wanted Moutier in that draft. I really did. I wanted Moutier. I watched some of his games over in, in China. He only played 12 of them. Over in China, I watched some of the highlights, watched some of the games, and I was like, yo, this kid could be the truth. You know what I mean?
You said that, but let's keep it funky, man. Your faith in the Wayne, man. Let's keep it funky. You had more faith in Ron Baker than you did Moutier.
I did. In the beginning of the year, you know why? Because I didn't think he was in shape. And I didn't think that he had, that he was, having the basketball acumen to play. You know what I'm saying? I was waived. I thought he was done. Honestly, I thought that after this year, Moutier might have been back in China if he didn't come through. But now he's coming through, and I'm like, okay, this is the guy that I thought he could be. Way back in the day. But then I ain't gonna front. I thought he was done. I was like, Moutier might be done. I really did.
Hey,
but
you keep it in 100.
You know what I'm saying? I thought he was done, but now he's in shape. I still think he can get in better shape. You know what I'm saying? Like in the you playing sports or whatever, right? If you wasn't in shape and then you get in all right, so you're in basketball shape, but then to get into that supreme shape, you kind of got to be in that good shape. It might take this year and the next year where he's like over the summer, he's still staying in shape and keeping the right kind of diet. I don't want him to be Raymond Felton. You know what I'm saying? Because Raymond Felton used to come back because of that. Yeah, he used to come back every year and take the first 2 months of the season to get in shape. You know what I'm saying? So if he takes it seriously over the summer and then he comes back in shape again next year, now he's going to be in supreme shape. And so, but I'm not going to lie. My confidence waved in him big time.
Okay. All right,
I ain't going to front.
Let you go, man.
Yeah, I appreciate the call, bro.
I appreciate you letting me call up, man.
No doubt. Have a good one, man. Have a great weekend. Peace.
One love, man.
Peace. Yeah, so, the whole thing with, with Moutier, is going to be interesting. But, we got to figure out how we're going to keep Kevin Knox in there, man. How do we do it? I'm glad he had 24 points. You know what I'm saying? Really glad he had 24 points. I would have liked to have seen him, get some more shots in the second half. Some people say maybe he's, just fading away himself. Some people say, it's up to our guards and things to help him out. I agree. I think it's up to our guards, to help him out a little bit. One, because he's a rookie, help him get there, help him. If he is fading away, if they notice him fade away, say, get to him and say, hey, it's not time to fade away, young guy. You gotta stay in there. But then again, Moutier is a young guy, kind of young too. So, yeah. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's pop?
Hey, Sim, my name is Robert.
All right, what's going on, man?
Chat. My thing with the Knicks is I'm really trying to give Fizdale some time to see what he can do.
Uh-huh.
But before I get back to around Fizdale, is that with Netitina, they got to give him some time. It took Moutier 4 years before he got his act together, and it seems like he got his act together this year.
Mm-hmm.
It took him 4 years for them to just push Frank to the side and not give him a chance to develop and to get to that point. Because I don't think it would take him that year. And he's not going to be a volume scorer. We know that already.
Never.
What we want from him and what we need from him, what we need from the whole team. Because, see, we got to get an identity first. We don't have no identity.
Right.
It's like they'll just put them on the court and tell them play.
Yeah.
He don't demand nothing from them. And the first thing, as you know, as being a coach, the first thing that we should demand of any team is defense.
Right.
Defense is what win championships.
Exactly.
We don't get no defense at all. We get no stops when we need to get stops.
Right.
And that's where we go wrong because we need defense real bad.
And you 100.
When we had the great teams of the great New York teams, they played defense. That's what got us the wins.
Yeah.
That's what got us to the playoffs every year.
Yeah.
Because we had defense.
Yeah, you 100% right. The Knicks' defensive rating coming into this game was 113.2. The Hawks scored 114 points, so the Knicks are dropping in defensive rating again. And the Knicks are 29th in the league. 30 teams in the league. The Knicks are 29th in the league coming into this game in defensive rating, and we're quickly on our way to becoming the worst team in the league in defensive rating. So, that's rough. And the question is, we know our problems with Enes Kanter, right? As far as him, in the pick and roll and those type of things. But guess what? Kanter can't guard all five guys on the floor. Frank Ntilikina is not playing the same type of defense, in my opinion, that he played last year coming in. Part of it is because players know that he is considered a defender, so they're going at him. And so it's tougher for him to play that same type of defense. You know what I mean? And then there's more schemes. Once you get on a team's radar, now there's going to be more schemes and ways to get that person isolated. We're going to test him out. Well, let's see if he's really a defender. You know what I mean? So he's not playing, in my opinion, the same defense that he played last year. And then, you don't have, we know about Kanter. Tim Hardaway is not a defender. Moutier is okay, but, he's not like a supreme defender. Is it the defenders? Is it scheme? What is it? What do you think it is?
I believe that the coach don't demand certain things from them. If you demand certain things of your players, like you being a coach, you demand certain things of your players, and they do what you demand of them, right? If they don't do what you want from them, tell them, listen, you sit down and tell you what the way I want you to do. And the same way you sit them down for they offense, you got to sit them down for their defense.
Right.
If they're not playing good defense, sit them down.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Sit them down because their offense ain't good.
Right.
It starts with defense.
And
you can't teach a person how to shoot. But you can teach a person how to play defense.
Yeah, and I definitely agree. Like you're saying, you sit someone down. I mean, what message does it send, right? When you sit somebody down because their offensive game, but you don't sit somebody down because of their defensive game, right? What message does that send to the team?
That's the message to the team is it's okay. It's okay if you playing if your offense is good. You don't gotta have great offense. You don't got no defense. We understand because you got great offense.
Right. Exactly.
No.
We'll get that.
Have you noticed LeBron James, Kevin Durant, all them players that we looking to get, they play on both ends of the court. They play defense and they play offense. You know what I'm saying? That's what the great players do. If everybody wants to move to that next level, we got to start with this defense. We get this defense down pat. Once we get the defense down, then we'll be able to win. We'll be able to beat anybody in the league.
Yeah.
It begins and ends with defense. Every night we have the same conversation. You know what I'm saying? We scored these many points. We let them score that. We don't get no stops. We need the defense to get better. We got to get an identity. And me personally, I'd rather have a low scoring team, but that could play defense and stop the other team from scoring so much.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. I would much rather have that as well. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I know it's the way of the league, and people will say, well, you know, the league is going that way. But, you know, still, I want guys that can get stops on the team. You got to have guys that can get stops, man. We got to be able to get stops on the team. You know what I mean? You got to be able to get stops. I don't care if you score 130 points. If you're giving up 135, you know, you're not going to win the game. And I'm still waiting. And that was supposed to be the hallmark of this team, right? One of the hallmarks of the team is defense. We're still waiting for that to be. I mean, we're getting worse and worse and worse and worse. You know what I mean?
In the defense department, the thing with Knox, the reason why it seemed like he faded off is because, you know, he's playing when for a game first starting. He's playing in the floor of the game. He's playing in the floor of the game. After they take that rest, it seems like he just loses it. And once again, this deal got to demand same thing you did that first half. You got to do, like you said, you want to work inside out.
Yeah.
Work, keep doing that. If he's staying in the mid range, he could be one of the best mid range shooters in the game. He look up to certain people. The people that you look up to, if you notice, they mid range. They come and they start at the mid range and work their way back. Let's not become another Tim Hardaway Jr. where you want to come and just check up three pointers, and then when you see that's not going for you, then you want to drive. It's because, and I'm surprised. I'm surprised that because I look at seniors, Tim Hardaway Senior. He wasn't that. He wasn't. I know he taught his son better than what his son is doing.
Yeah, I know he did too, man. I know he did too. I mean, I'm ready to get Hardaway out of here. You know, just let these young guys ball out, man. I want to get them out of here. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'm ready to get them out of here. Hey, man, I appreciate the call.
No problem.
Appreciate the call, man.
Appreciate the chat again.
No doubt.
And keep up the good work.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate it. Later. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the box scores for the game tonight. And, you know, obviously it's not going to be encouraging at all. Right? Take a look at these box scores. The Knicks won the first quarter, 39-28. And it was all downhill from there. You know what I'm saying? All downhill from there. And I see somebody in the chat just say I was a Moutier hater. That's funny. That's funny. I if that's what you want to say, homie. If that's gonna make Christmas go well, you know what I mean? Then I'll be a Moutier hater. Not a Moutier hater just because I say what I think his next steps of development are. You know what I'm saying? Where he needs to go. I mean, the kid had 32 points on 60% shooting tonight. You know what I mean? How can I hate on that? You know, I just talk about what I see his next steps to development is and what I think is going to make him a better point guard. Anyway, the Knicks scored 39 points in the first quarter, and it was all downhill from there. They scored 30 in quarter two. They scored 20 in quarter three. They scored 18 in quarter four. That's downhill, my friends. The Atlanta Hawks scored 28 in quarter one. The Knicks won that quarter by 11. Then the Hawks won every single quarter from here on out. They won the second quarter by 2. They won the third quarter by 7. They won the fourth quarter by 9. It was all uphill for the Atlanta Hawks from there. I'm telling you, that spirit, folks. We're losing that spirit. I don't know what it is. The Knicks lost to the Atlanta Hawks on the boards, a team that, according to the season's average, they average more rebounds per game. But tonight they lost on the boards. And they lost big time. 54-35. The Knicks lost the boards 54-35 to the Atlanta Hawks. 54-35. I'll say it again, 54-35. And it's not like neither team was shooting so bad that there were so many rebounds to go around. Right? 54-35. We had 14 assists at halftime. The Knicks had 14 assists at halftime. That's part of the reason why we scored 69 points. All right. I want you guys to put something together for me or just listen to this and tell me, is this a coincidence or is this a coincidence? Or does it really mean something? Or is it that's just the way the game went? In the first half, the Knicks shot like 50. Matter of fact, I will pull this up. Well, I'm not going to pull it up on the screen. I'm going to look at it here and I'll be able to talk to you about it. The first half of the game, the Knicks shot 58.7% from the field. Tim Hardaway shot 4 shots in the first half of the game. The Knicks had 14 assists. In the second half of the game, the Knicks, let me see if I can pull it up. Well, I couldn't pull it up. But anyway, in the second half of the game, the Knicks shot a worse percentage, obviously. Okay. Tim Hardaway took more shots. The Knicks only had 6 assists in the first half of the game. Is that coincidence? And I'm going to pull these actual stat numbers up as soon as I can. But is that coincidence or that's just the way the game went? That's what I want to know from you guys. Right? That's what I want to know from you guys. Second half of the game, we shot much worse. All right? Because we ended up, in the first half of the game, we were at 57%. Right? We were at 57%. We ended up shooting, 40 whatever percent from the field. Okay, we ended up with only 6 assists in the second half. We had 20 assists on the game. 14 of them came in the first half. Right? Now, so my question to you, how much of it is it a coincidence that Tim Hardaway took more shots in the second half and we had a lower amount of assists and we had a lower shooting percentage? I'm not trying to blame everything on Tim Hardaway Jr. I'm just asking you, is it a coincidence or is it a direct result of Hardaway shooting more shots? Because we should have had, close to 30 assists ending this game. Sometimes there really is a story behind these numbers, folks. Sometimes there really is a story behind the numbers. Anyway, let's continue looking at this. Like I said, the Knicks shot 48.8% from the field, 29.6% from 3, 70.8% from the free throw line. The Hawks are 47% from the field, 34.5% from 3, and 75% from the free throw line. Both teams shot 24 free throws tonight. And the Knicks, of course. Let me see if I can get... Okay, I think I got these stats now. Let me see if I got this. There we go. In the second half, the Knicks shot 36.8% in the second half. All right, and I'll see if I can get this up so you can see what I'm looking at, so you don't think I'm just coming up with whackness, craziness. All right. All right, so you don't think I'm just coming up with craziness. But anyway, the Knicks shot 36.8%. Tim Hardaway shot 50% in the second half, so I guess it wasn't too crazy. He only had 6 assists in the second half. I guess that's a direct relation of us not making shots, right? In direct relation to us not making shots. This is what I'm looking at right here. You guys can go on NBA.com and look at these stats yourself. You know, break it down by half, break it down by quarter, whatever it is. All right, the Knicks scored 69 points in the first half. And in the second half, we were only able to muster up 38 points in the second half of the game. So there it is, man. That's basically the story of the game. Basically the story of the game. We get to this call. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, what's up, Sims? Rob the Knicks.
I'm chilling, man. What's up with you?
Nothing. Just got finished watching player development. That's what I call it. Win or lose on player development. That's what I want to talk about.
All right. So what development did you see in some of our players, and what development do you think we need to start focusing on? We need to focus on a little bit more.
Well, right now for the last couple of days, everybody knows it's been Kevin Knox.
Kevin Knox, he's been playing.
You know, he's feeling. To me, what I'm seeing with him right now, he's hitting more shots, but it may be a direct effect of Tim Hardaway. The way that it seems as though, even though he had a good first half, it still seems as though he's rushing this shot, especially from 3 in the second half. I'm seeing that he's trying to put up the ball before the defender gets there. And he's not concentrating on the shot itself. He just looks like he's just trying to get the shot off, at least from 3. Like a little fake, a little step in or something. Most of those baskets, I think he would have probably sank. But it's like, he's just like, as soon as he sees the defender coming and he's receiving the pass, he wants to get in. I don't see the same form that I see when he's shooting it without nobody there.
Okay.
Is a smoother stroke. So, I think that's something that he can work on. And Moutier is showing that he's the real deal. And I'm looking at, I'm starting to think, not to say that we need to give up on Frank, but, it seems though like with Frank, he's kind of reminding me now of Shump and the guy that Landry Fields, man. Good promise, but it doesn't really seem as though I even went back to watching him in France on YouTube just to really see what type of game that he can bring it even when he's comfortable. And it looks the same. He might be a 8 and 7, a solid backup. I'm starting to see that Frank is not the type that's going to be a starter in this league. It's just not looking that way for him, and he can play defense. But I think that he can be a productive part of a team. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that if he's trash, he's out the league. Mm-hmm. But the bounce to his step that he, I won't even say the motivation. I'm just saying, you have to come into this league knowing that you can play in this league. Mm-hmm. Frank doesn't seem to think that he belongs right now. Not to say that he won't belong in the future, but Frank seems to believe like right now, he's starting to believe what everybody is saying around him. It's a growing process, and he's not saying, the hell with that BS. I'm going to show him that it's now. And he's waiting for them to say, now you're ready.
Okay. So, and, how long did it take for us to give up on Shump?
We watched him for what, 4 years?
About 4 years. Took about 4 years before we decided that we wanted to move on from him. I mean, we already deciding. People are already deciding that Frank is done in his second year. So,
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in the future that it may seem as though the most you're going to be able. I don't see him to be a starting point guard on the championship team.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I think a lot of people didn't think Kyle Lowry was going to be a starting point guard on the championship caliber team. I think people didn't think Chauncey Billups was going to be a starting point guard on the championship caliber team. I think people didn't think Steve Nash was going to be a starting point guard on the championship caliber team. And none of these guys, people always say, well, they showed flashes or this or that. These guys didn't really do that when they came into the league. They was, relegated to the bench. You know what I'm saying? But it took a process. And you know what? And what happened?
Nash, he was, right then and there at the time, where people wasn't even really paying too much attention to Steve Nash because Kevin Johnson was the point guard. So
I'm talking about Steve Nash. Steve Nash was in Dallas, and he was in Dallas, and he wasn't getting no burn, and then they traded him. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys became what they were on other teams, and I think that's what's going to happen with Frank. And that's and you know what? And I'm gonna tell you what, Rob. And I'm gonna tell you what, Rob. I think that's gonna happen with a lot of players around the league right now. I think because players are coming in so young, and I talked about this in the last stream, because players are coming in so young, and some of them with a lack of development, we're gonna see a lot of players that start off, with a lot of promise with their first team, or supposed to have a lot of promise, and then, their teams kind of, give up on them, if that's what you want to say, and then they go to another team. Because then what happens when you go to another team, the expectations are lower, right? And then now you can start to exceed the expectations, and then, different things start to happen as far as you're exceeding expectations, and then you set your goals a little bit higher, and you get better, and those type of things. It's happening around the league. It's happening around the league in a lot of places, man.
It doesn't seem as though, if it wasn't for his length, he just doesn't seem as though he's the quickest guard. Now he's long and lengthy, and that helps him cover though. But he doesn't seem as though like he's quick, like without the ball or with the ball. And it's like, he got good. He might be better when Porzingis come back, because right now with what they got. Okay, it's a trash team. You got Timmy as the leading scorer, and he reminds me of a Clint Eastwood movie. A man needs to know his limitations.
Hey, you know what? It's funny you say that, Rob, because I was talking with my daughter the other day. We were talking about her basketball game, and I was like, one of the things that your best players in the NBA do is they know what their limitations are. Right? They know what their weaknesses are. They understand their limitations, and they stay away from those things until they develop them and get them better. Some of your worst players don't understand their limitations, and they try to be something that they just are not. And you might have hit it right on the head with Timmy.
Yeah, he just like, that pull up three from 5 feet behind the 3-point line with 3 people standing in front of him. Somebody needs to tell him that that's a bad shot. He should never take it.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I thought like this Jabari Parker thing, if you can take Timmy, I'll take Jabari Parker just to get Timmy off.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it, man. We're going to talk about it. But yeah, I'm with you 100% on that. 100%, man.
Just to move him, hey, it's good riddance, because it's like now, he might need on the championship team, Timmy will fit in because he know he's the 6th option. And he's going to get all open shots.
Exactly. He would. He would on a championship team, he would be so much better because the expectations would be different. No one's going to be depending on him to be, the guy, the leader, and yeah, he'd be much better. He'd be much better. And then somebody would give him a contract to be the leader, and then they'd find out that he's not the leader. You know what I mean? Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I agree with you.
When's Trent Robinson coming back?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Not sure. A hamstring, man. Robinson is his ankles, and that's just due to whatever.
Look at
them hamstrings, man.
In Houston. Chris Paul.
Yeah, them hamstrings can take a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can take a while. They hurt. They're painful too. I had one. I know one in my life.
I know.
And them joint ain't no joke. Like I was running and that joint just whoop and like I couldn't move my leg. I'm hopping on one leg trying to get off the court and I was like, I'm done. It took a while.
Hey, it has you walking like a girl, man.
And I my Achilles. I pulled my Achilles one time too. And
I had a sore one that gave me. I didn't pull it. It got sore. Well, I know about them too.
Yeah, I mean, mine are always like when I'm playing, they always kind of, a little bit sore, hurt a little bit, and I gotta like massage a little bit before I get out there, because they hurt a little bit. But I was playing. I don't even remember what happened. I don't remember if I think I was on defense, right? And I went to close out or whatever it was, and it felt like somebody right on my Achilles, like took something and just said pop, and I heard it go. I heard it sound like that, and I was like, oh, I mean, it was painful, and I just, I just had to stop, and I was out for a while. You know what I mean? That's, yeah, there's some painful stuff, but yeah, that hamstring, man, that'll keep you hamstrung. No pun intended. It's like pun was intended. Yeah. That hamstring will keep you hamstrung for a while. Yeah, man.
All right, Sim, look, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to listen to the rest of the show. See what
I appreciate it, bro.
Say.
All right, no doubt. Appreciate the call, Rob. Peace.
All right.
Now, a big shout out. I want to give a big shout out to some people who hit me with a super chat. Indotu Imku, hopefully I said your name correctly. You said, no, talking about Kevin Knox. You said, no, his teammates are fading him out, not him. And I think there's some people that agree with you. Sincere the Genius said, Moutier is playing for a contract. So let me ask you, Sincere, so are you saying that he's not going to be the same once he gets a contract? Are you saying he won't be the same next year because he gets a contract? Chester said, no one cuts. Moutier has no one to pass to. Well, I think that's part of, the Knicks are very predictable with what they're going to do on the offensive side of the floor. You know what I'm saying? I think every single one of us can sit there and call out exactly what they're going to do on, 75% of their possessions. They're going to come up the side. They're going to pass the ball to the guy running, trailing down the top of the key. They're probably going to swing it to the other side of the floor. Then you'll have the person who passed the ball the first time go down and set a screen to the guy in the corner. You know what I'm saying? Then that person to come up, and if it's Vonleh or whoever, set a screen for that person, and usually it's Tim Hardaway, and see if they can get him off of a curl. I mean, we're pretty predictable on what we're going to do coming up the floor. Siobhan Robinson said Tim Hardaway Jr. chucks more shots in the second half. That's why, talking about Kevin Knox. Well, that's true. Yeah, that's very true. And that's one of my things, man, about having someone like Tim Hardaway gone so that, having him gone so that Kevin Knox, can be out there and feel like, all right, this is my squad. Let me go. Let me do what I got to do. So there it is. Sincere the Genius, you say, how many players are the same after they get their contract? Not too many. I mean, you could be right. You could be right, man. You could be right. We'll see. I think that's the big question, and why the Knicks are, can be in such of a jam with Emmanuel Moutier. Right? It's such of a jam because you got to see if it's real or not. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, Sam, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. Who's this?
This is the Tank Commander.
Say that one more time, please.
The Tank Commander.
The Tax Commander.
Tank, T-A-N-K.
Oh, okay, the Tank Commander. Oh, okay, all right. So you commanding, you running this tank thing then. All right.
That's right.
What's going on with you, man? Huh?
Yeah, I just have a couple of issues, a couple of points to make.
Okay.
First, right, is like Kevin Knox.
Yeah.
Basically, I don't like him just standing in the corner waiting to shoot a three-pointer. I think they should get him more involved in the offense, like put the ball in his hands, top of the key, put him in a position where he could make some decisions. instead of just standing in the corner on the weak side.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Nah, I agree with you. I think that they need to start like really utilizing his skill set. You know what I mean? Right now, there's nothing very intentional about getting Knox or anyone really the ball, except for maybe Tim Hardaway. But so I don't think there's anything really done that's intentional, and I think that I agree with you. They should be a little bit more intentional, and not just Tim Hardaway, but getting some other players the ball in positions where they can be successful, instead of just running this same old set, time after time down the floor, or variation of sets,
shoot a three.
Yeah.
All right. Also, if they develop this kid, he could be a possible, number one or number two player. Because he does have the talent.
Oh, definitely. I think so.
Right.
I think so. Without a doubt, I think he could be a number one or a number two. Without a doubt. I mean, this guy. He's just got. You can see it. He can. He can. One day, hopefully, I hope that one day he can get his assist numbers up. One day, but he's got time to grow as a basketball player, of course. But he can do it all. He can grab the ball. He can go coast to coast. He can post up. He can shoot the mid range. He can shoot the three. The kid can. He's just got a
complete offensive game, man. In order to get his assist up, he's going to have the ball in his hand.
Yeah.
Instead of just standing in the corner. And the thing with Frank, I wouldn't want to give up on Frank right now, because I think he does have a lot of potential. What I would like to see the Knicks do is next year have him play in the summer league, right? Give him a chance to build some confidence, and if it doesn't work out in the summer league, maybe a couple of games in the D League wouldn't be too bad,
Mm-hmm.
Just need to get some games on his belt where he can basically build up his confidence.
And look, I do not think at all that I don't think the Knicks are going to give up on him right now.
I don't think they should.
I don't think they're going to give up on him right now. But I think eventually, he's not going to be able to play the style of game that they want to play, and they're going to move on from him. That's what I think is going to happen eventually.
But question for you, right? Do you think he has a good enough handle, and does he have enough speed to be like a starting point guard?
I think that his handle is fine. I don't see anyone just take the ball from him. He can obviously improve his handle. I've seen I've seen times when he gets himself into a little bit of traffic, and I don't know if that's handle or if that's he just made the bad decision by getting himself into traffic. The speed.
What do you think about his speed?
I think,
and when he's in the game, what do you think about his pace?
His pace?
Yes.
I think his pace of play is a direct relation to the way that he played. He came up in a system where they played slow, so that's how he learned how to play the game. And it's going to take a while before he learns how to play with a faster pace, I think. Naturally play with a faster pace where he's not thinking about it, and he just naturally does it. I think that's going to take a little while because he grew up playing a certain style of basketball. As far as speed,
probably a more structured style.
Yeah, playing overseas, they're very, very if you watch some of those games, at least with the team that he was on, let's just say that, not every team overseas, that team was very, very, they were very structured. You know what I'm saying? And he kind of grew up with that organization for the most part. So he's learned that, and it's going to take him a while to, in my opinion, learn how to play a different style of a basketball game. As far as his speed, I've seen times where he has turned the speed on. I think a lot of it is just him deciding that he's going to do it. I've seen a lot of times where he's turned on the Jets and went to the basket. You know what I'm saying? It's just that he just doesn't have the mindset to go every time he gets the ball, or to look to be that guy that's trying to score every time he gets the ball, or create for others. Now, that's an area that, he hasn't learned. I've seen him sometimes this year come off the screen, get in the middle, and he's in the paint. But, because he doesn't knock down the shot consistently, right? He doesn't shoot a high percentage. Players aren't collapsing on him so that he can dish it out. You get what I'm saying? Like, even when he gets in the paint, sometimes he hits the runner, but it's not consistent. So when he does come off, I've seen him come off screens and he's got a defender on his back and he's in the middle of the paint. But because teams aren't totally confident, or teams aren't afraid that he's going to make this shot, they're not coming off their man. So now there's no one, there's no one to dish to. He's going to have to start. He's going to have to shoot at a higher percentage. If he starts making shots at a higher percentage, you'll see things open up a little bit more for him offensively, because now teams are going to, defenders are going to respect him more.
Yeah, he's going to draw. Yeah.
Right. So now when he does get into the paint, if he's scoring, if he's making his runner and he's in the paint, he's making layups and stuff like that. Now when he gets in the paint, teams, players are going to come off their guy because he's the first threat, and then he can dish it off. So, he's got to, starting to make shots is going to open his game up too. You know what I mean? That's the thing. That's one of the things that I do worry about, is that he may not ever be a good shooter. I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping that he can get it. A lot of people can make it in practice. You know what I'm saying? But in practice,
I'm just hoping he could probably be a knockdown shooter. Like, if he's wide open, at least hit the shot.
We'll see. A lot of times, when you have guys that are, sometimes defensive minded, and he's not as like I think Mark was saying, he's not like really, really fluid. I'm not gonna say he's straight up a box, right? And he's straight up just stiff. But he's not as fluid as he could be. He's long and lanky, but he's not like super duper fluid, and have the kind of athleticism where like his body can twist and twort. So he's not that kind of a guy.
Question for you: does the Knicks have like a shooting coach, and who would that be?
I'm not sure if they have. I'm not sure. We have to look. I'm not sure.
They probably need to get Allen Houston to come down there and work with him a little bit.
I mean, I think he has good form. He has good mechanics. I think it all has to do with the touch. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think there's a lot of players, I think, you see a lot of players that have all the right mechanics, but then it comes down to, are you accurate and do you have the right touch? I'm not sure he has that yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not sure he has it yet. We'll see if he ever develops it. I know he's a hard worker, also, and he works really hard. So, he
is a hard worker, You guys were kind of spot on with Moutier, right? We know he could score 30 points, right? 30 points against like some of the bad teams. Mm-hmm. But can he do that against the good teams? All right, that's my question. And also, we don't need him to score 30 points. Right, we need him to distribute the ball. Right, that's what we need from Moutier. Yeah. Because when KP comes back, right, if for some reason the Knicks get lucky, right, and sign Kevin Durant, he's not going to be shooting the ball that much. Right, he's not going to be anything more than maybe a fourth or fifth option on the team.
Right.
Or hit the shot when he's open.
Yeah. Now,
I don't think we need him, right? I don't think we need him to be, scoring 30 points.
Yeah, and
we need him to like move the ball, right? Control the tempo.
I'm gonna be
and just make smart plays.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that if Moutier is playing with KP, Moutier is more of a pass first point guard than he's showing right now, because he's scoring the ball a lot. And I think him scoring the ball a lot has a lot to do with Fizdale, in my opinion. I think that Fizdale's idea of, the kind of guards that he wants are big guards like Moutier that can attack you and put pressure on the defense, which is leading to him having less assists. I think that with KP, I think that Moutier, I think you will see him shoot less. I don't think he is a shoot first minded type of a point guard. I think he's playing that right now, but initially, coming into the league, I don't think he's that kind of a point guard. And I think with KP, you'll see him get more assists. And if KP and KD were both on his team, which I don't think is going to happen, but if they were both on the team, I think that Moutier will gladly distribute the ball to those guys. I really do.
That's a part of his game I would like to see right now.
Okay.
Because in the second half, it seems like Knox wasn't getting the ball. He was just, I see like several times he was calling for it, right? But they just kept it on the strong side and they wouldn't swing it.
Yeah.
For some reason. But, the Knicks is what they are. You have a lot of guys that are playing for their next contract. So it's kind of understandable they're trying to get theirs.
Yeah. And that was something we talked about early in the season, before the season even started. How is it going to impact the team? How is it going to impact the team with so many guys on 1 year contracts? That's something that we talked about. And is it impacting the team right now? I mean, is Moutier getting 30 a night going out and trying to score because of his contract? Or is that something that Moutier wants? I mean, Fizdale wants? I think that's something that Fizdale wants. You know what I'm saying? I think he wants his guards to
coach,
be...
right? And he understands the situation.
Yeah.
So, he's going to let those guys he's going to give them like a long rope, right? He's not going to really rein them in. Because he realized, the situation that he's in.
Yeah.
But I think Fizdale is he's gonna do a good job, right? He's saying the right things.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what you have to do is watch and see what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
And you can't really judge him this year,
Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you. We got to get some things in place.
The major thing right now is to develop the young guys.
Uh-huh.
And just develop the culture.
Yeah.
Right? Even though, we may be tanking, right, you should stress that we're out there to win every single game.
Yeah.
Or at least have the players believing that we're out there to compete and win every single game.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
but, I'm not going to get too upset if they lose.
No.
What upset me is how they lose. Or
exactly.
How they play.
Exactly. I'm not upset if they lose. They got a lot of young guys. It's like they're playing with freshmen and sophomores. And other teams have seniors. You know what I'm saying? But it's just about the principles of the game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey man, I appreciate your call. Great call. I appreciate the call.
All right. Go Knicks.
All right,
Take
definitely,
have a good
man.
night.
No doubt. All right, peace. Have a good one. All right, New York Knicks fans. One more call. Let me get to this call right here, and then I'll move on to who my player of the game is. I think you guys already know. A caller. You're on live with nothing but Knicks. What's popping?
This is Rick War 82.
Rick War 82. What's going on with you, my man?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I got so much to talk about here, but hopefully I can get it all out.
All right.
So let's talk about Moutier.
Yeah,
I want to tell you that I agree completely with what you said about the next evolution of his game.
Yeah.
Is that he has to control the game better. And, he's still 22, and that's still in process. Now, there's got to be a distinction between that and what actually happened tonight.
Okay.
I saw Mark and Guerrero. It looked like they even watched the game and were looking at box scores. Knox went off in the first quarter. Moutier played the entire first until towards the end, right? Am I wrong?
I think Moutier played most of the first quarter. Yeah.
He played most of the first. Fizz kind of changed the substitution pattern a little bit tonight. Because Moutier played the majority of the first. They brought Frank in late first. He played about a few midway through, and then brought Moutier to finish half. Third quarter, he took Moutier out dumb early. Like 3 minutes. Did you notice that?
Yeah. He took Moody out. He took him out a little bit early.
Much earlier. Normally he plays at least 6, 7, 8 minutes before he brings Frank in. He took Moody out very early, and they were up by 7. Knox. That's when Knox started getting out of the flow of the offense. And by the time that he got back, he was cold because he missed like seven straight shots. And I'm not even going to blame Frank because it has not really. It just had the way the game played out. But for me sitting here listening to Mark and guys looking at box scores saying Moutier's, come on, man, watch the game. That's not what happened, you know. And he had an advantage against Trae Young, who's dumb, who that he put him down low and was able to score it very efficiently, very easily. So, and Knox had his shot. Knox is 19 years old. There's not too many 19-year-old kids that are scoring 20-something points in the first half, let alone still have the wherewithal to carry it over into the second half. You want to talk about Frank? You want to talk about Moutier's evolution? That's Knox's evolution. It's for him to be able to finish out a whole game and keep scoring and not get and not do what he's been doing. It's kind of just like fading towards the end. But he's 19. The fact that what he did today, my wife was here. I was screaming, "He's 19." She don't care, but I was like, he's 19. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
If you actually finish with 40 or 50, how many 19-year-olds do that? You know, he's kind of like we forget that he's 19, and we're kind of starting to almost expect him to be putting 30-point games out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's just a few weeks away from 30% shooting and looking completely lost.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's starting to be consistent and at least starting out games are hot. And the next step, he's going to be able to put out a whole full game. You can't blame Moutier for that. And if you look at the offensive side, the point guards are not going to get a lot of assists in the way they play. The point guard brings the ball up and essentially just passes it.
You are dead on there. We are not going to get a lot of assists in the way in the whatever it is we do.
A lot of assists, but the point guard specifically may not tally a lot of assists in the way they play.
That's what I meant. Because the point guard is not used in that way.
Exactly. And Moutier is probably the best drive and kick guy, and that's why often late in the shot clock, if it's either him or Tim that they give the ball to, and he's able to get in the lane and stuff like that. So you guys stop box score watching and watch the game. And another myth is the whole Moutier don't play defense business. So here's Moutier's problem on defense. He is too quick to pass off for the switch.
But you know what? That's not just Moutier. Frank Ntilikina does the same thing.
I know that's not Moutier, but I'm focused. That you're right. A lot of teams. Frank's the only guy that fights through.
But sometimes Frank switches off too early, and I'm like, yo, why are you switching? He does that too.
True. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying he does that too. So my question, I just don't know if is it scheme or if it's them, the players.
It's definitely scheme. But I will say that as the Moutier president, I will admit that he does it like he sees the pick and he's ready to give it up. You know, he's ready to switch on us. He's ready to switch. He even switches on fast breaks, and that always causes a lot of confusion too. Like he'll pick the closest guy to him and try to point for somebody to pick up his man. And you know, we're full of vets that don't play, that's not great defenders, and young kids who might have the effort, but they're not smart enough yet to play good defense.
Right.
So that's, if you want to add the evolution, Moutier on ball D. I will say I'll take Moutier's on ball defense right now over Frank, because Frank plays very good team ball. That's why he's really good in the pick and roll, because he'll fight through the pick, and if he gets picked, he'll hug the roller and deny the little pocket pass. So team wide, but on ball, man, 50,000-year-old Vince Carter blew by him today.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's why, besides the fact that I don't even want to get into the Frank business, but besides the fact that the handle's not completely there and he doesn't really have the mindset to penetrate a lot. Defensively, I know that we're enamored by the potential of his size and length and having that at the point guard spot. But defensively and offensively, I mean, he's still 19. What is he, 19? He's 19,
20.
right?
20.
Or 20. He's 20. I never want to limit any kid because he could be anywhere. I don't never want to limit, but the signs are pointing that maybe he's not a point. And I don't know if it helps or hurts his development if that's like pushing that upon him. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even know if they're pushing that upon him.
Want more out of Frank than he does for himself.
I don't even know if they're pushing that upon him. You remember at the beginning of the year, he was starting at the small forward spot. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they know how to use him.
I don't know if you believe this or not, because some people, he's a used car salesman, as some people say, but he said that there was a reason for that, right?
There was a reason for it, right? Trying to get him to be more aggressive scoring the ball.
More aggressive, yeah. That didn't work out, but yeah. but that's all. I think a lot of guys watch these games through the prism of their own hate, and they see what they want to see, but not see the facts. Because I can't believe I can't believe the kid played his butt off tonight and tried to keep the team in the game, and people coming on like Moutier and not get the ball to Knox. That's not what happened. And if you saw, by the time that Moutier came back and was trying to get Knox involved, Knox was already cold. He shot he barely hit the rim on a couple wide open threes, and Moutier found him a few times. He missed the alley-oop dunk. I even saw on Twitter people were complaining about the pass, the alley-oop that Moutier threw to him. You can't win for losing.
Okay. Well, I mean, we'll see how this evolves, and I wonder what it was, why Moutier went out so much earlier. I guess Fizdale probably explained some of that a little bit later on in his
He didn't. I don't think he liked the way we came out. I mean, by the time Moutier came out, we were up by 7. But even prior to that, they made a small little quick run before they pulled Moutier out and got it up by 7. But they had Atlanta already came back and was kind of in the game. So I think he didn't like the way Moutier was running. He took him out pretty quickly. But during that span, Knox wasn't getting his touches. And like I said, I'm not going to even blame Frank. It's just the way our offense goes. And a lot of times, Knox is going and get his shots. Nobody's helping Knox get his dribble handoffs. And the one thing I like about Knox is he's decisive with his offensive decisions. He's either going to shoot, pass, drive. There's no hesitation.
I agree. Yeah, definitely. I agree. He makes a quick decision on what he's going to do. He makes a decision, and he's not worried about it either. So, yeah, that's definitely
not worried about it. Yeah, but in the second half, in the third quarter, he wasn't getting a lot of touches, and then by the time he started getting them, he already got cold.
Cooled off a little bit.
Got cold. But the setting them up, that goes back to what you always talking about is the system, and I think Fizz is just doing an open tryouts right now, and I thought like you, maybe at 25 games that we would get to a point where I do see some more sets, but it's still more like each man for themselves out there.
Yeah. So I'm looking at it.
The thing is that Moutier can do it, and the other guys can't right now.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the third quarter right now. It's about 9 minutes and 31 seconds left in the third quarter. I've been watching it for a couple minutes. Kevin Knox is taking one shot. Moutier is still in there. It's 9 minutes and 20 some seconds left. But the way you're looking at it now, they're just kind of doing whatever they're doing. Really, there's really nothing set. They're just doing whatever they're doing.
What I don't like is they run what they run, and then they'll hand it to Hardaway and Moutier with like 8 seconds or 5 seconds, and then those two gotta find a way to get a quality shot off.
Yeah.
And then they look like ball hogs at the end. It's not their fault, because it's the way, whatever it is that we're running. That's why they're always getting the ball late in the shot clock, and for them to do something.
Yeah. All right.
I don't like that, but again, this is part of the whole development process. I'm willing to take the pain.
Okay.
And next year or when KP gets back, we gotta be better.
Yeah. All right, man. Hey, I appreciate the call. A lot of good points made there. I'm sure guys in the chat hear it, and when I open the video chat back up, I'm sure they're gonna have something to say.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at this third quarter again. You know, kind of look at the time that.
Yeah, they took him out early because I was
just looking at the time that they took him out.
No hate. I don't know why they took Moody out so early.
Well, I'm looking at it now. It's 8 minutes. You know, where I'm at right now, there's 8 minutes and 30 seconds left, and he's still in the game. So he's in the game for a little bit. But hey, they
took him out much earlier than normal. Watch it.
Yeah. All right, man. I appreciate the call.
All right, peace.
All right, peace. All right, folks. And my player of the game, and you know, even though people had some things about Moutier, you know, he's still winning. He did it, and he had 14 points in the first half. Went ahead and scored 22 more in the second half. So Emmanuel Moutier is my player of the game. You know, my New York Knicks player of the game is Emmanuel Moutier. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some people that maybe disagree with me, but that's my player of the game, and I'll get from the chat who your player of the game is. I want in the YouTube chat, tell me who your player of the game is. And in the video chat, tell me who your player of the game is. And I just see somebody ask how you get into the video chat. If you look on the screen, it's not on the screen right now because I got Emmanuel Moutier up there. But when I come back, you'll see a scroll that says appear.in/NBK. That's how you get into the video chat. Just go appear. It's best if you use Chrome. That works the best. Appear.in/NBK. And that's how you get into the video chat. Come on in and join us. But Emmanuel Moutier is my player of the game. Who was your player of the game? I was all ready for it to be Kevin Knox, but it did not end up being Kevin Knox. But I'm going to get back to this video chat because I have a question that I want to ask folks. Right? I want to ask you, are we ready to hit rock bottom? Because it's coming up, and it's coming up pretty quickly, in my opinion. Hitting rock bottom. You know, the reason why I thought we were going to lose this game is because I feel like we're spiraling down to rock bottom. I feel like we've lost some spirit. I feel like we're a team right now that as soon as we become challenged, we don't have the strength to step up to that challenge. That's why I feel we are as a team right now. You know what I mean? Rock bottom is coming. Trust me. Rock bottom is coming very, very soon. All right, because we're getting ready to play. I mean, we are getting ready to play a brutal schedule coming up. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to be. Rock bottom is coming soon, and I'm still looking at that game because I'm just checking out what Rick Ward was saying. So it's 8 minutes and 3 seconds in the third quarter, what I'm looking at. And Frank Ntilikina is getting ready to come in the game for Emmanuel Moutier. Kevin Knox just took his second shot on a feed from Noah Vonleh. But anyway, rock bottom, are we there? Or do we have a ways to go? I think we have, well, I don't want to say a ways to go before we get to rock bottom, but I think rock bottom is coming up very soon. You know what I'm saying? And I think we're going to have, I said, you know, that I think we need to have one of these games where we just get smacked. And I think it's coming up. I really do. I think one of these games are coming up, folks. I hope that it's not on Christmas. Seriously, I don't want it to be on Christmas. Big shout out to Bless Roberts. He said, bring in Richie Rivera before the league notices him. Okay. All right. What's past rock bottom? I don't know what's past rock bottom. I guess under the earth. Ace, you said we hit rock bottom after the Cavs game. You think so? I don't know if did we earn rock bottom after the Cavs game? I mean, did we earn it? Did we hit rock bottom? I don't know. I think we still got a ways to. We got some ways to go before we. Not some ways to go. I still think we got to get there. I think we're on our way to rock bottom though. Your Wild Entertainment, you say next game. Lewis, you said I earned some credibility back. How'd I earn it back? what was it? What did I do to lose my credibility? And then what did I do to earn it back? That's what I want to know. All right, let me get to these guys in the chat. Let's talk a little bit. All right. Rock bottom. I know it's coming. Y'all. And I think rock bottom is going to be bad. And then after that, maybe we start climbing back up. I'm just seeing, it's just certain things that I'm seeing with body language right now. The team seems to have a give up mentality as soon as we're challenged. And that's what makes me bring up this whole thing about rock bottom. You know what I mean? So let's see who we got. We got Isaiah and we got Mark. Isaiah, I'm about to come to you. I see Mark talking to you. About to come
go
to
first,
you,
and Mark wants to go first.
Well, I already opened you up now.
Okay.
All right. So I'm talking about the Knicks hitting rock bottom.
Hey, Sim, you can hear me?
I can hear you.
Can we breathe? Because let me tell. I want Knicks fans to prepare. This might be historically one of the worst stretches in Knicks history. I want people to prepare for what's about to happen to the Knicks. And I want people to not be surprised. I don't want people to come here after every chat saying, dang, we should have won. No. What's going to happen, and this is almost a guarantee, is this is going to be a historically bad stretch.
We'll see.
Every Knicks fan knows January is our month to when we just get killed. Mm-hmm. We go on the West Coast and we just get murdered. Mm-hmm. It's just we don't have a lot of home games. We're literally on the road almost 80% of the time. This is going to be bad, and I want people just to brace yourselves because this. I said it earlier today. If we didn't win today, we're not going to win.
We're getting ready to play Milwaukee back to back.
Right. Do you think Giannis wants to kill us for last time? Giannis might get 50, and I'm not even joking.
Well,
he might get 50 because he the minute Mario Hezonja gets on that court, he's going to be the big black man in prison.
Mario Hezonja may not get on the court. He didn't get on the court tonight. He may not even get on the
court.
He
don't need to get on the court during Christmas because Giannis is going to kill him. Like I said, man, this is just I'm really going to keep saying I just want Knicks fans to prepare for this stretch that's going to happen. It's going to be bugly. It's going to be bad. It's going to be nasty. Yeah. It's going to be like the worst time you had sex. And that's hard to do. But it's going to be that time.
Looking at the schedule, looking at the schedule that's coming up. This is the schedule that's coming up in the next few weeks. And is definitely rough. Here we go, folks. Check this out. All right. Christmas Day, we play Milwaukee. 2 days after Christmas, the 27th, we play Milwaukee again. Then we play Utah. Then we play Denver.
Oh, God.
Then we play the Lakers. All right. Then January 7th, we play the Portland Trailblazers. Tuesday, January 8th, we play the Golden State Warriors. Friday, January 11th, we play the Indiana Pacers. Sunday, January 13th, we play the Philadelphia 76ers. We fly to London. We play the Washington Wizards in London. We come back. We play OKC. We play Houston. We play Brooklyn. We play Miami. We play Charlotte. We play Dallas. Then we play Boston. Then we play Memphis. Then we play Detroit. Then we play Detroit. Then we play Toronto. Right? From now to the All-Star break, looking at the schedule, there's maybe 3 teams on the remaining schedule that we can beat. Really. Right? The All-Star break begins Friday, February the 15th. Right? I'm going to go over this schedule again between now and then. These are all the teams that we play. Right? One more time. December 25th, Milwaukee. December 27th, Milwaukee. December 29th, Utah. January 1st, Denver. January 4th, the Lakers. All right. January the 7th, Portland Trailblazers. January 8th, Golden State Warriors. January 11th, Indiana Pacers. January 13th, Philadelphia 76ers. January 17th in London, the Washington Wizards. January the 21st, OKC. January the 23rd, Houston. January the 25th, Brooklyn. All right, January the 27th, that's Miami. January the 28th, Charlotte. January the 30th, Dallas. Now, Dallas has a winning record. All right. Friday, February 1st, Boston. Sunday, February 3rd, the Grizzlies. February 5th, Detroit. February 8th, Detroit. February 9th, Toronto. February 11th is Cleveland. February 13th is Philly. February 14th is Atlanta. So maybe we could beat Atlanta, Cleveland, and Brooklyn. Maybe. We just lost to Atlanta tonight. We already lost to Cleveland. We lost to Brooklyn before as well. So it's entirely possible that we don't get a win in this stretch. It really is. Will we pull one out? I think we'll pull one out somewhere. We'll surprise somebody. We probably will. But geez, I mean, that's how many playoff teams? One that are currently in the playoffs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Dallas, I'm not sure if Dallas is in the playoffs. I haven't looked at it. I'm saying 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We play like 15, 16, 17 teams that are in the playoffs in this stretch. It's good. Yeah, man, that could be that could be brutal. That can really be brutal. And you're right. This was we get this win. If we would have got this win, it would have been nice to get this win and then go out and try to make something happen, or just keep our heads above water. But that's going to be a brutal schedule, and somewhere in there we're going to hit rock bottom. You know what I'm saying? Brendan the Great said, we beat better teams occasionally, a good sign of things to come. That is true. We do beat them occasionally. But I feel like the spirit of the team is weakening. That's why I'm asked. That's why I say that rock bottom is near. You know what I'm saying? Because the spirit of this team is weakening to me. What do you think, Isaiah? And then I'm going to come to you, Mark.
You funny dude, Kareem.
Yeah, I don't know if Mark is still there. Is Mark still there?
No, Mark, he there.
Okay, all right. So, what do you think, Isaiah? What you think, man?
Oh, man, Sim. I mean, listen, man. I'm gonna keep saying that. I just want Knicks fans to brace themselves. This is gonna be historically a bad stretch. Like you said, we might, and this is a strong might. We might get 3 wins, literally. We might end up. What are we, 9-25?
We're 9-25 right now.
We seriously might. I can't do the math for losses, but we seriously might come out of this stretch with
12
only
and
having
30,
12 wins.
12 and 30 something.
We'll be 12 and 30 something before.
Yeah.
Before you know what I'm saying? Listen.
This stretch, after this stretch, this could be record-wise, after this stretch, could be a historically bad season for the Knicks. After this stretch,
yeah,
we'll see.
It might end up. I don't think it's going to be worse than the Derek Fisher 17 win team. It might be slightly better. It will. I can see us coming out of this whole season with 20 wins, 21.
Let's see.
23
see what our spirit is like after this stretch, man. We'll see what our spirit is like.
I can see it seriously coming out with 23 wins.
Yeah, and then we'll see what moves, if there's moves made as well. So, that can always impact something. You never know.
Yeah.
Big shout out. One second, Isaiah. Big shout out to Michael Parker. Said, hey, Sam, I've been advocating for the Knicks to select Bobo over Zion Williamson in the upcoming draft.
What?
How do you compare the two? Well, Mr. Parker, I haven't really compared right now. I've been watching probably, I kind of got a plan sometime after the new year, late January, to really start breaking down and looking at draft stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I'm not prepared to say right now. I apologize, but I'm not prepared to say. But because you hit me with a super chat, I will make sure I do a breakdown of those two players.
Hey,
so,
Sim.
I appreciate it.
I know you won't say it, Sim. I'm gonna say it for you. Want me to say it for you, Sim?
You don't gotta put words in my mouth, no, because I don't know what you're gonna say.
Well, no. It's not gonna be bad. It's not gonna be too bad. All I was gonna say is, everybody, listen. I'm Sim's conscience right now. I don't got a bucket hat, but I'm his conscience. Stop asking Sim about the draft. He already said he's not going to talk about it until March or April. Stop asking him. My man is not in the tank season, okay? Stop asking my mans.
Yeah, it's not me.
For real, stop. Because he'll smack the fire out you. And that's me talking. I'll smack the fire out.
It's my translator. Isaiah, this is my translator right here.
Exactly. Don't make me get the bucket hat, because real talk, Sim is tired of y'all talking about the tank. He gets it. It's in his face. No, Sim, I got you, bro. I got you, dog. Listen, stop asking Sim about the tank. He literally knows. He knows that we suck right now. He knows that we have a losing record. He knows we have a top 5 pick right now. He knows. Stop asking him. When he's ready, he will talk about the tank. He will be on Tankathon every day. Don't worry. He got you in May, April. He got you. Don't worry. He will be at the draft. I'm sorry, Sim. He will be at the draft. We good. Shut up.
My translator. All right, Mark, I know you had something to say. What's up, Mark?
Bless him, Mark.
All right.
Bless him.
Now, Sim, I got a problem now. I got a big problem. And that last caller who you had that said I didn't watch the game, right? So as he was talking, I went back, because I think I was bugging. I don't know if I was bugging. So I had to go back and recall the third quarter. So he said Knox took 7 shots in the third quarter. Did he say that?
I don't remember how many he said he took, but you know.
Okay, what I remember is that he said Moutier got subbed for the rest of the third quarter.
He said Moutier went out in like the first 3 minutes. Moutier went out at 8 minutes. And I think Knox had
803. He
had taken like 2 shots.
Right?
Yeah, 803. And I think Kevin Knox had taken. He took 1 shot, got it blocked, and then he got a feed from Noah Vonleh. Yeah, he cut to the basket, and Noah Vonleh gave it to him, and he got hit. And he made a free throw.
Okay, so when Moutier got subbed out from 803, because I have it here, this timestamp, 803, and then he gets subbed in 6:19. Knox gets subbed out 6:19. So he took in that midst of 2 minutes. 2 minutes of prior from 803 to 619. He took a free throw and missed a floater. Does that look like they was feeding the same player in the first half? So he wasn't subbed until the fourth quarter at around 11:03. And he only took 3 shots but went to the line twice.
Okay,
Does that look like a player being fed?
Okay, so hold up. He was subbed back in 11 minutes in the fourth quarter. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, that's the last time he was in the game, the fourth quarter.
So Kevin Knox went out with about 6 minutes left in the third, right?
Yeah.
And then in that 2 minutes, how many shots did he take in that 2 minutes? Because he was in there between 8:03
He took 2 shots and got to the line and missed 1.
So, but from 8:03 till he was subbed out, he took 2 shots and then went to the line
and made a free throw. So that don't look like someone that's been fed the way he was fed the first quarter, right? So he wasn't subbed back into the fourth quarter. So he missed at 8:28. These are his possessions. And we have a point guard on the floor. This whole time, Moutier was on the floor, right?
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. You feed the hot man that was letting us win the game. He was the reason we was up 69 to 60. Not Moutier. It was him. He was the guy. So at 8:28, he missed. He went to and then he missed at 5:17. That's 2 shots in the fourth quarter. Then he went to the free throw line, made 2. He made 2. And then after 2:55, that's when we was down 6. and Tim took that dumb shot, and the game was over. Then he took one of those. Then he took another shot, and that was missed. Now you tell me if that was feeding Kevin Knox. And that whole time, if you go look at the timestamp, it was Moutier and Tim Hardaway just taking shots. Now you tell me if that was feeding the hot player. This was a Knox game. No one tells me that this wasn't his game. He was the reason why we was up. It wasn't Moutier. It was him. It's up to a point guard to feed the guy that was scoring. He was the feature guy tonight. Moutier took all of the shots. He ended up with 20 shots, and he ended up with 20. He ended up with three extra points between the third and fourth quarter. Man, y'all gotta stop. And he was a Moutier fan. He was a Moutier fan. These are what Moutier fans do.
He said these were Moutier fans do. I mean, I was looking down. I was checking out and breaking down that third quarter too. And from the beginning of the third quarter till Moutier went out, I seen Kevin Knox take one shot and then went to the foul line after Noah Vonleh fed him the dish off the cut. I haven't had a chance to take a look at it, but it sounds like you took a look at the rest of it for me.
Yeah, I had to go watch it because people think I be just talking and not watching the game. I have to come back with facts because I think people just like saying my name so they can feel featured in the show or something to make themselves look good. But no, you dummy. Go look at it again because you wasn't watching the game, you big dummy. Take that for data.
Why you gotta call him a dummy though? Why couldn't it just be, here's the facts that I got? Jeez.
No, because he's saying what I was watching.
So Kevin Knox played in the third quarter, played 5 minutes and 41 seconds in the third quarter, and took 2 shot attempts in the third quarter. In the third quarter, Kevin Knox took 2 shot attempts. He played 5 minutes and 41 seconds. In the fourth quarter,
he wasn't getting fed like he was getting fed in the first and second quarter.
In the first
feature
quarter,
guy for tonight.
Kevin Knox played 9 minutes and he took 3 shot attempts in the third quarter. All right, now I can go and I can run down. I can pull up the play-by-play. If you pull up the play-by-play,
go look at the fourth quarter. Just go look at the fourth quarter, please.
Right.
Please look at it.
You look at the play-by-play. I have to pull up the play-by-play. Then the play-by-play will show you, and you guys can go on to NBA.com and look at this yourself. You look at the play-by-play, then the play-by-play will show you what time that he took the shots. Whatever it is. Kevin Knox obviously didn't get the same amount of shots in the second half that he did in the first half.
He wasn't featured, man.
And there has to be. I think there has to be a balance. When you have a player that's going well, you got to have guards that's willing to sacrifice a little bit, try to get him the ball and see what happens, because clearly what was working in the first half did not happen in the second half. So
and then what really made it so funny, oh my God, if anybody watched this basketball game, anybody agree with this kid saying who they play defense?
Breaking up on me. Let me get to Kareem. Kareem, what's popping, man? What's up with you, bro?
Yo, Sid, what's up, man? What's up, baby boy?
Cool,
how you doing,
but before I get to that, let me just give a shout out to Morgan Bakers, one of the players from my high school girls team is in here. What's up, Morgan? Glad to see you joining the chat. Big shout out.
Peace to Morgan. Peace.
Hopefully you have a great weekend, Morgan, and we'll see you Wednesday on our way to Easton for that for the tournament. So enjoy your holiday, Morgan. We'll see you in a couple of days. All right, Kareem, what's going on?
What? All right, what's going on? What's your name? Sorry. Hey, what's going on, Sim? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. We're having our usual arguments in here, about Emmanuel Moutier, about Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox was hot in the first half, and then in the second half, obviously, he didn't see the ball as much. Regular arguments, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm questioning, talking about, are we ready to? Is this team, as far as what I see, and the reason why I ask about this team hitting rock bottom, is because I'm seeing the team lose some spirit out there. I could care less about us winning or losing. I want to see spirit. And I'm starting to see like with Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? They start coming back. And instead of us like, okay, we manning up now to try to make something happen, I'm starting to see heads drop, shoulders drop. That's a bad sign to me. Arguing going on. Last game, Cantor, who was it? So whoever it was, Jimmy Butler drives to the basket around Hardaway, dunks it. Cantor and Hardaway start getting into an argument about whose responsibility it was. I'm starting to see things like that. That concerns me. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not you win or lose, you can win. I mean, you can lose the game, but you displayed the principles. You had fight. You had spirit. You played hard. All that stuff, means a lot. I feel like when the team spirit starts to break a little bit, you start seeing these lackluster games that we've seen the last few games. That concerns me. What do you think?
Oh man, well, first off, piece of the chat, definitely. I don't know, Sim, man. I don't know, man. I don't think I'm. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm a little perplexed. Hold up, let me mute what's going on, so I can focus on what you're saying. Yeah, I'm a little perplexed, man. I'm a little perplexed because I'll be honest with you, man. I don't like the terminology tankster wankster because I don't think I'm a wankster. But I definitely don't think I'm, you know what I'm saying? In high school, you was the man, homie. Nah, I don't think I'm a wankster, man. But I gotta say, man, I was at work, I'm watching the game, and I just think I might just be on the opposite end of the spectrum with this whole season. Like, I come in here and into the chat, and I'm like, I find myself disagreeing a lot. I think I don't think it's so much that I disagree so much. I think we're just diametrically opposed. Like my view on the season is just like, I don't necessarily want how it was last year, how we was like winning and losing and winning, and we ended up with the 9th pick. Just so happens we did. I mean, I trust our front office that we're going to do great scouting. I mean, especially after this last draft, I got all the confidence in them. No matter where we land, we're going to get a good player. But at the end of the day, the year that we got Porzingis, we was actually, our chances of getting the number 1 pick or a top 3 pick was very high. We ended up with the number 4 pick. I mean, that was just bad luck. So I don't know, man. I was watching the game and we was handling them pretty much in the first half, and I was a little nervous that we was going to win. So I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I hate to be so honest, man.
Oh man.
I hate it. I mean, because
I mean, but even if we lose, I mean, win or lose, I don't even care. Right. But even if we lose, right?
I know. Yeah.
I want to see the spirit though, because to me,
I'm sorry.
Because I feel like
it's Moutier.
You think so? Because I feel like even if you're losing, like you can show the spirit, and I know losing takes a toll on you though, right? You're losing games; it takes a toll on your spirit. It really does. You know what I mean? And it starts to, the frustration begins to brood up, But I just, I want to see the spirit, the constant work ethic. You're coming to work with your hard hat on to do your job, whether or not you win or lose the game. All the bickering and all that kind of thing, because then it can start to breed and translate into a bad culture. You know what I'm saying?
I totally understand.
And if we're supposed to be building a good culture, then we can't let that, even if we're losing, we can't let that stuff begin to seep in. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I feel you. I mean, the way I see the Knicks this year and when they play, and I know they have games where they look like they can win and they end up losing, all I can really feel in my heart is that we're losing organically. Like, that's the only thing I can really think. So if we're losing organically, it's really hard for me to say that the Knicks are down or that they're holding their head. I just feel like even the Hawks. I mean, yeah, the Hawks got a worse record than us, but they got Bazemore. You know what I mean? Like, they have Vince Carter. They have some good young talent. They have Collins. Collins is, they got Dedmon. They have a very good nucleus of veterans and young guys. Their records don't show it. But, I mean, as far as the Knicks, like, how many people do we have holdover from last season's team? Like, maybe 4 guys, maybe 5 guys. So I'm just saying, like, we lose, but these teams that we lose to, even though they have a bad record, they've been together for a while. They're not bad teams. And in the NBA, you can compete in the NBA. But when the buzzer goes off to actually win in the NBA, that's really, really hard. And I just feel like our team, we're just losing to teams that I'm not gonna say that they're better than us, but they just have more experience than us. You know, like that's like I said, I think we're losing organically. Like I don't feel like, you know, anyone is doing anything wrong. I think we're just young and we're just not experienced. You know, like I said before, like 2 weeks ago, you know, Kevin Knox was, in everybody's eyes, was a bust. I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, as far as our strides, we're making incremental progression, and that's the only thing I really see. Like, if we play and we win, I'm cool with that because I know we won organically. If we lose, I'm cool with that. And we just lost to the 3 teams that's worse than us as far as record. We lost to the Cavaliers, we lost to the Suns, and I thought we was going to beat the Hawks. We lost to the Hawks. So in the grand scheme of things, I'm looking at R.J. Barrett now. Like, I'm looking like, yo, are the basketball guys really on our side? Because our guys, we're going out there and we're competing, and our experience and our fortitude is being tested, and we're losing games. And I just feel like we're losing because we're just really young and inexperienced.
I'm just saying.
And Moutier. And I'm sorry.
I'm just looking at some of the things that
a friend of mine. I mean to cut you off. I want to say real quick. A friend of mine, he said to me, "Yo, I think they really trying to prop Moutier up to make him look good to trade him." And I'm like, you know what? He might be right. I think before the trade deadline's out, I think he might be gone. I think we're doing all of this stuff right now to boost Moutier up, and we're going to try to trade him and maybe attach Courtney Lee. But I think he's the biggest reason that we lost this game and other games, because he just goes off on his I'm going nuts. It was a time when he drove to the lane and he could have swung it to Knox in the corner, and he took a contested shot in the paint. He may have made it. I don't know, but he's not a point guard. Like he's a guard. But he's not a point guard.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I mean, I'm just worried about some of the things that I see, because you know, there's going to be a number of players that we keep from this team, right? Kevin Knox going to be here next year. Not most likely. He's going to be here next year. Frank Ntilikina most likely is going to be here next year. With the way that we know it right now, Tim Hardaway is going to be here next year. Mitch Robinson, Alonzo Trier, you know what I'm saying? You know, Cantor's going to be gone. Trey Burke, I think, is going to be gone. Courtney Lee, I think, is probably going to be gone. But, you know, there's a good number of guys that's going to be back here next year. And even if we're losing, I just want us to stay, you know, keep the spirit up, keep the fight up when we come on the floor. Don't hang our heads. You know, just keep on going. You know what I'm saying? And understand where we are as an organization and where you are as players. You know, sometimes when you have a younger squad, you're going to go through it. I don't want to see, and if we have any players, because I see Timmy, you know, with his face mugged up a lot. I seen somebody, you know, while we were watching the game, we had a little live stream watching the game together. And someone was like, you know, do you notice every time somebody else gets hot, Timmy's body language and stuff like that? I don't want players like that. If we have players like that are showing bad body language, that are complaining that it's other people's fault and all this kind of stuff, and you're gonna get into arguments on the floor. But Cantor and Hardaway, them two, I don't think they like each other for real.
It's crazy. It's crazy because my favorite player of all time is Tim Hardaway, Senior.
Yeah.
That's my favorite player of all time. So I mean, the reason why I brought up not his father, but the reason why I'm speaking on Tim Hardaway, because I did notice I think Tim Hardaway Jr. I think he took his second shot like late in the second quarter, and I don't know, man. Like when I seen Hardaway acting as a third option because Moutier and Knox had it going, and when Hardaway was looking for a shot, I seen glimpses of what it would look like when Knox is more seasoned and KP is on the floor and Hardaway's a third or fourth option. So yeah, I mean, I feel you with the bad body language, but I mean, I didn't see that today too much. I seen Hardaway trying to pick it up in the second half, but in the first half, I thought he let the young guys rock. So well, I mean, hopefully everything, you know, we don't let anything negative, you know,
come in and ruin any type of culture that we're building. We got a rough schedule coming up, and we're gonna have to hold it together as a team during this schedule. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, we're playing, in the next month and a half, the next 2 months, all the way up until the All-Star break. Only about 4 teams we play are not in the playoffs, and we play some tough teams. So we're gonna have to be together as a team, man. I want to know what you guys think about the trade rumors. There's been trade rumors, right? A few of them, and they're gonna start circulating. They're gonna start circulating. The most recent trade rumors about Jabari Parker, right? That the New York Knicks have interest in Jabari Parker, right? And suggested trades have been, to move Tim Hardaway in the 2nd round pick for Jabari Parker. Maybe Courtney Lee, and you'd have to attach another player. For Jabari Parker. Jabari Parker makes $20 million this year, right? He makes $20 million this year, and there's a team option for Jabari Parker next year.
Oh, he's on a 1-year deal?
He's on it's a 2-year deal, but there's a team option.
Okay, a team option.
Right, so the team can opt not to re-up his deal. That $20 million would look really, really nice if we could clear some cap space.
Yeah,
it'd look really, really nice for free agency this year if we can find a way to make that.
I didn't realize he was on a 1-year deal. I didn't realize. I thought he had like a 3-year deal or something.
Yeah, they gave the Chicago Bulls gave that man $20 million. I guess they figured they was going to help him to reclaim his career. Would you make that trade? In the rotation. Would you make that trade? Would you try to get him? Would you try to push to get him?
Yeah, I mean. You talking to me?
Yeah.
Yo, I've always been high on Jabari Parker. He's very skilled, and I don't know exactly what's the problem in Chicago, but I mean they haven't had a whole lot of camaraderie since dude punched dude in the face and broke his face. They just kind of been, I don't know, but either way, I like Jabari Parker's talent a lot. A lot. If we could get him for Hardaway, I'm with that because I liked seeing Hardaway out of the lineup the other day. They had Courtney Lee in there. I would much rather have seen Dotson in there in the starting lineup. But yeah, life without Hardaway, it wouldn't be that. It wouldn't bother me at all. And if we take another flyer on a player, Jabari Parker is someone that I would definitely be interested in because if we trade for him and he plays butt off, then we could really consider him being our big acquisition in free agency if we bomb with Durant or Kyrie or anybody. I'm saying if we trade for him and he comes over, I mean he was the number 2 pick. I mean he displayed all-star potential. So if we get a flyer on him for Hardaway, we already got enough guards. You know what I mean? He Jabari Parker come off the bench. He could play the 3. He could play the 4. So, yeah, I would love to see that. For Hardaway, I don't want to see him eating up any cap space other than the cap space that we already have being eaten up by Hardaway. So, yeah, if we could 2nd-round pick and get rid of Hardaway for Jabari Parker and see what he got for the year, and it's a team option. So, if he do good, if we bomb on other free agents, we could offer him a deal. We can wait it out if he plays his butt off. But, yeah, I think it's worth it. I mean, I like Jabari Parker. I like him a lot. So, he's that positionless player, maybe not defensively, but offensively. He can bring a lot of versatility. He can handle the ball. He can score on the post. He got that bully ball mentality that Melo used to have in his heyday. So, yeah, I like Jabari Parker. I would go for it.
So, Jabari Parker, and this is from Ian Begley. All right, it's from Ian Begley. Jabari Parker is in the first year of a 2-year, $20 million contract. The second year is a team option. The Knicks have been steadfast in keeping any future first-round picks off limits in trades. Ian Begley thinks it's the same approach would apply in any discussion about Jabari Parker. The Knicks are among the teams who have expressed preliminary interest in trading for Chicago's Jabari Parker, per ESPN sources. It doesn't appear that anything is imminent at the moment. I'm thinking that if the Knicks trade for Jabari Parker, I'm thinking it's probably just going to be a salary dump. They try to dump his salary and get that $20 million. Obviously, they would look at him for the remainder of the year to see if if there's anything he could do. But I think that they'd be looking to dump some salary. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Chicago has too much leverage, to be honest. They signed him to a 1-year deal. The best thing they got going that he's an expiring contract. I don't really know exactly what they expect to get for him, like established young player on a rookie contract. I don't know if that's in the cards because a lot of people just probably be like, okay, you want that much? We'll just wait to the end of the season because pretty much if he's out of the rotation, people already know that they soured on him. They're not going to pick up. They're not going to
re-opt it. Exactly. They're not going to. So really, what they're selling is his contract. That's really what they're trying to trade. They're trying to trade his contract. They're not really trying to trade him. He is averaging 14.5 points per game this season. Let's take a look at Jabari Parker and what his stats.
He got a couple of DMPs recently too. He's literally out of the rotation.
Yeah, I mean, they everything is. It's not going well. It's just soured. Everything's soured over there in Chicago with Jabari Parker, and a lot of it has to do, he doesn't his defense.
Right.
That's the big, one of the big things about him is defense. Right now, Jabari Parker. Looking at Jabari Parker's stats, he's averaging 15.2 points per game, 6.9 rebounds per game, shooting 45.5% from the field. 29.3% from three. That's where he is right now. Jabari Parker. For his career, he shoots 48% from the field, 33% from three, 15 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, 2.1 assists per game. That's what he is for his career. So, we'll see. We'll see. Let me get to this caller. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks, man. What's popping?
Hey, what's up, Sim? CJ.
Hey, CJ, what's happening with you, bro?
Nothing much.
Yeah, so what's your take on, Jabari Parker?
Oh, if you can get to Jabari Parker for Tim Hardaway, that's a no-brainer. Like, that's a definite plus move. Jabari Parker is a better scorer than Tim Hardaway because he can score inside. So, if I'm going to have a pure scorer, I'd rather have a guy who's going to the basket, who's going to give you a solid 15 to 18 than Tim Hardaway, who, he'll give you 30, but then he'll give you 12,
Yeah. But I'm just of the belief that it would be nothing more than a salary dump for the Knicks. What do you think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a salary dump, but I mean, we don't have Porzingis, and he's not getting, what they said in the news today was he's not even getting evaluated till February.
Yeah.
So even if he gets evaluated, if the Knicks are smart, they're going to hold him out until mid-March. So he's gone for basically the whole season. We're going to, I'm a Knicks fan to the heart, and I understand where we want to win, but we all knew that they were only going to win 20 games from the start. So if we win 17, 18 games and we get in the top 4 of the lottery, I mean, we don't have to be the worst team in the league to get a good lottery pick. We just have to be in the top 4.
Right.
With the way the lottery is structured.
Yeah.
So,
but
we win 20 games and we get in the top 4, and then, hey.
But sticking with Jabari Parker.
Is it R.J. Barrett or Zion Williamson? Both of them are game changing.
Yeah. But sticking with Jabari Parker, do you think that Jabari Parker would be an asset for the Knicks? Would the Knicks actually think about keeping him around? Do you think?
I mean, he's an injured guy. He gets injured a lot, so it's one of those things where, I mean, you got him for even if you hold on to him for next year. But if Jabari Parker comes on the Knicks and he starts projecting to where he was a 20-point a night scorer, 18, 20 points a night, hey, that's if we
you know,
got to hold on to it for next year because Kevin Durant decided he wants to stay in Golden State. I mean, I've got a crazy sneaky trade with Golden State that I think would benefit the Knicks, and you would still stay under the cap, but not for this.
Yeah. I think
for the 2020 draft.
Yeah. See, I think that the Knicks would get Jabari Parker, let him play out this year of his contract in New York, and then not re-up him because they'd rather use that money in free agency. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean,
it'd be $20 million off the cap.
No, I understand you would have it off the cap, but I'm also one of those guys who this draft is fool's gold. Like people are looking at this draft like it's the end all be all, but you've got 30-year-old Kevin Durant who has foot injuries. Like he doesn't play 82 games a year. You have Klay Thompson, who, he's turning 30, but he's a second-tier guy. You got Kawhi, who's going to LA. I don't care if it's the Lakers or the Clippers. He's not signing with anybody in the East. Who else is free agent this year other than those? Boogie. He could come back and tear an Achilles is murder. So I wouldn't want to touch him with a 10-foot stick. I mean, the 2020 draft is a little more promising. You got AD because New Orleans is stupid if they trade him at the end of this season. They should see how he goes in the playoffs. But you got AD, you got a bunch of other younger, not 30-year-old guys in this draft, in this free agent, in the 2020 free agency, as opposed to now. All these guys are 30. I don't. It's just same old Knicks if we go and get a guy who's 30 years old, who's an established player somewhere else, and then we give them $160 million, and then they're good for 2 years, and then we pay them for the next 2 other years. We give it's free money. We've done that for 20 years. That's why the Knicks They haven't won for 20 years.
Yeah, I feel you, CJ. I just don't think that. I'm gonna let you go out to this because I'm about to head off. It's been on for about 2 hours.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Been out for a while. I appreciate the call, man. Appreciate the call. Have a good
night,
weekend.
Tim. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you. Peace. I just think that the Knicks get Jabari Parker is going to be a salary dump. Even if he plays well, he's not going to play $20 million well, in my opinion. And they would, not re-up him. And if you don't get something in free agency, now you got that money. You don't have to spend the money, right? You don't have to spend it on anything, or you can just give out 1-year deals, and then they would, use that money for the next free agency. So I want the Knicks to make that trade, not because I want Jabari Parker, but I want to get rid of Tim Hardaway Jr. if that's, what it is, and if that's who the guy, if that's who the trade would be. And I want that $20 million. So now free agency, we really can, this free agency, in 2019, we can really begin to put together a really nice team for the next year. So, that's the way that I look at it, folks. Couple super chats. Chester, thank you for the super chat. You said reinforcements coming, injury list. I'm assuming you talk about Trier and Mitchell Robinson. And yeah, you know what? Hopefully they would reintroduce some life back into the team, some spirit, some of that heart into the team. Mighty Knicks gave a shout out to Kareem. He said shout out to the fake analyst guy. Gave a shout out to Kareem. And then Monty Knicks gave me another shout out. Said the merch was fire. Big shout out to Monty Knicks. I think he got an Illmatic shirt and he got a Nothing But Knicks shirt. And if anyone is interested at all in purchasing, any shirts right now, we got a Illmatic shirt up there. We got a Knox City shirt. We're about to have an ISO Zoe shirt up there. I'm even gonna put a 3 to Hardaway. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have a unicorn shirt up there pretty soon. So if anyone is interested in getting anything, you can always check out the website. Cop you a shirt. I mean, you can't get it in time for Christmas right now, but that's cool. But you can get it, whenever it's available. But right here, right on my website, you know what I'm saying? These shirt, these designs right now are available. Where you can go on the website, you can cop one. Here is the website right there. So you can jump on there, you can cop one. Be on the look for ISO Zoe, Unicorn, maybe 3 the Hardaway, #3 the Hardaway. You can be on the lookout for that and couple other ones up there. I got some other t-shirts that are really going to be in the works that you guys are going to like. You guys are really going to like. Got a little partnership going on with somebody. I'm not going to release it all yet. Someone who's been designing something and it's tough. So, you guys are going to like that when it comes out. All right. But yeah, you guys can feel free, man. Go on there and cop you something. See what you like, cop it. And I would definitely appreciate it. But now we down to the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? And we about to get off here. Big shout out to everybody who was on the show, everybody who called in, everybody who's giving a super chat. I do want to say Christmas time. I'm not sure what's gonna happen with that game on Christmas. We got a lot of people, family coming over for Christmas. I may try to jump on. I'm gonna see what happens. So I will keep you updated as far as what's gonna happen with Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Brendan the Great said you'll rock some merch for me promoting MBK in Australia. Appreciate that, my man. Definitely. And you get a shirt, send me a picture so we can, I can put it out on the gram, Twitter, throw it on here. All right. Appreciate the love for sure. Definitely. I'm gonna put this once again. I'm gonna put this in the chat. You guys can check that out if you like. You know what I mean? Check that out. And if you have ideas for designs too, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? You can send them to me, anything. And Fars, that's not funny. All right. My man Fars said, laugh out loud at Sim trying to sell Hardaway merch while wanting to get rid of them. Hey, you know what? Yeah, you right. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. You right. You definitely right. Knicks versus Milwaukee. I'm not expecting anything good with that game. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? I'm not expecting anything good with that game. The Knicks versus the Milwaukee Bucks. It could get dirty, could get ugly. You know what? Yeah, that could be a dirty, ugly game, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? A dirty, ugly game. I don't want the Knicks to get just smacked and embarrassed on Christmas. You know what I mean? I don't want to see that happen. But, with what I'm seeing from the Knicks right now, I don't think that the Knicks are going to stand a chance against the Milwaukee Bucks. Mark, I want to know what you think about it. We about to get up out of here. All right, I want to know what you think about it, man.
Do you see what Giannis did to Boston Celtics? So that's what's going to happen. He's on the meeting now. So I don't even listen. That game, I'm blind to that game right now.
What you say about the game? You what?
I said I'm blind to that game right now. That game don't even count.
Yo, I mean, the Milwaukee Bucks just beat the Celtics 120-107. Giannis had 30 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. I mean,
you should have saw how he did it. You should have just saw how he did it.
Yeah, I mean, that's about on average for Giannis right now. You know what I mean? The Milwaukee Bucks are 22-9. Right now, they are, what are they, second in the East? They're second in the East behind the Toronto Raptors. They've won 4 in a row. The New York Knicks, we've lost 4 in a row. We're 9-25. We are on the opposite end of the spectrum from the Milwaukee Bucks. We are close. Let me tell you something right now. The worst record in the league for all the tanks, the wanksters out there. You know what I'm saying? That looking at that shiny prize at the end, Right now, the Knicks are 9-25. The worst record in the league is 8-25. We are within a game of being the worst record in the league. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. After this stretch coming up, we will have the worst record in the league. I can almost guarantee it. We are 1-9 in the last 10 games. 5-14. Dude, we're 5-14 on the road, right? We are 4-11 at home. We've lost 4 in a row. All right, 2-7 in the division. In the conference, we're 6-20. After we play this stretch coming up, look, listen, in this stretch, dude, check this out. Just check this out for real. Look, in this stretch coming up, we play the Denver Nuggets 21-9. We play Oklahoma City 20-10. We play Golden State 21-11. We play the Los Angeles Lakers 18-13. We play the Portland Trailblazers 18-14. We play Houston. They're not that good. I mean, they're okay, but they're 16-15. We taking a loss. We play Memphis 16-16. We play Dallas 15-15. Utah 16-17. We still taking a loss to Dallas. Who else do we play? In that stretch, we played Milwaukee twice. We played Indiana again as 21-12. We played Philadelphia, that's 21-12. We played Boston, that's 18-13. We played Charlotte, that's 16-15. We played Detroit, that's 15-15. We played Miami, who's 14-16. The worst team, I mean, we played Atlanta, we played Cleveland, we played Brooklyn, right? We can lose to any one of them sorry teams. We can lose to them too, because we sorrier. So, I mean,
last 3 games, just like the last 3 games, 3 sorry teams.
Yeah, by the time we get to the All-Star break, we can very well might be the worst record in the league, man. The worst record in the league.
Yo, Sim, I told you, I don't know if we could get 25 games. I said 20 in the season because the first 20 games was going to tell us what was good about this team.
Oh, we might not
look
get
at
15.
that schedule you just put me on to. We were about to get our hiney spank.
Before we get out of here, Mark, I'm going to ask you, and we're going to have a chat up, right? I'm going to go through it again. I'm going to go through every game from now to the end of the season. And let's count. Let's see how many wins we get in these games. All right?
Let's do it.
Ready? Let's see how many wins we... And I'm going to open... Isaiah, I'm going to unmute you too, all right?
Okay,
how many games do we get?
Let's end it off with a bang.
All right? So, here we go. And we're going to go through this and then we're done. We out. This is the last
we might
words
commit
right
suicide.
here.
We might commit suicide.
We got to say it at the same time, Mark. We got to say it at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. Milwaukee, December 25th.
L.
Milwaukee, December 27th.
L.
Utah, December 29th.
L.
Denver, January 1st.
That's a blowout.
Do you see Denver right now? L.
Yeah. The Lakers, January 4th.
LeBron like to show out.
Portland Trailblazers, January 7th.
L.
Golden State Warriors, January 8th.
Come on.
L, right? Indiana Pacers, January 11th.
Oladipo.
Philadelphia, January 13th.
L.
B, Baby Shaq.
Okay, Washington Wizards.
L.
We could win that game.
All right, so what's the consensus? Is that a win or a loss? What's the consensus?
You know what? That's a win. That's a win.
That's
that's one. That's one.
They trash.
All right, that's one. OKC, the 21st.
Hey, we're all going to be at that game. God bless everybody at that game.
L. Okay. Houston Rockets, the 23rd.
They got James Harden, man.
L?
That's an L. That's an L.
Brooklyn Nets, the 25th.
We can win that game.
That could be a W.
It's going to be in Brooklyn. It's in Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's a home game. That's a W.
Just because we like to play against them.
Okay, so you're giving me 2. The Miami Heat.
L.
That's a...
Okay, Charlotte Hornets.
L.
I'm gonna say L because they're gonna want to come last time to us because he had a bad game, and I believe he's gonna come back with vengeance. That's an L.
Okay, that's an L. February 1st. No, I'm sorry. Wednesday, January 30th. Dallas Mavericks.
L.
Luke Don.
Okay, so right now we have 2 wins in there. We got Washington and Brooklyn. February 1st, Boston.
L.
February 3rd, Memphis.
L.
Bro.
February 5th, Detroit.
Hey, if the Prince plays,
I could be that a W. I'll get out a W because they iffy.
Okay.
If the Prince play point guard, we can win.
Okay, you get. All right, you giving us one. All right, so that's 3 wins. February 8th in Detroit.
Oh, we're not gonna win back to back. L.
Okay.
I'll get an L.
Saturday, February 9th, Toronto.
L.
Okay. February 11th, at Cleveland.
Oh, we can win.
That's a W. That's a W.
All right, that's 4 wins. Wednesday, February 13th, at home versus Philadelphia.
We're gonna get spanked.
No, and B's on that team.
Okay, that's an L. Thursday, February 14th, versus Atlanta, in Atlanta.
We're gonna win.
W. I get a W.
Okay, that's 5 wins. Friday, February 21st, Minnesota.
L.
Friday, February 24th, San Antonio.
Oh, we can win. No, we can win that.
No, Spurs. Spurs is the Spurs right now.
L,
they won 7 games straight. They're back to the Spurs.
Okay, L. Okay, L.
You crazy?
Yeah, it's probably. Let me see the. You said they won 7 games straight. Yup. Oh well, they won 3 straight now. But San Antonio is now 18 and 15.
When you watch them play, they back.
Yeah. Hey, Isaiah, could you turn that down in the back song?
Sorry.
Orlando Magic. Tuesday, February 26th, Orlando Magic.
L. We've been getting blown out by them guys.
Yeah, we get smacked by them.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We always.
The next game is Cleveland.
We can win.
W.
All right, that's 5 wins so far. Now we're in March. The Clippers.
Wait, hold on, Sam. Hold on. When do Porzingis come back?
When does who?
Porzingis come back. Where Porzingis?
Okay, so a quick update on Porzingis. They're not going to reevaluate Porzingis until mid-February. So who knows? That's not going to be until March. Okay. He ain't coming back till March.
Sam, let's do hypothetically. Hypothetically, he comes back for the last 15 games. He's gonna suck for.
We need suck
for the last. He's gonna suck for the last 5.
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you what.
First 5 games.
I'm gonna tell you what. Even those last, let's do this March, because even these last 15 games. I mean, we end the season on with a terrible schedule, kind of.
Oh shit.
At least the end of March, right? So the beginning of March, you got the Clippers,
L.
Sacramento,
L.
Phoenix.
We can win.
W.
All right.
W.
That's 6 wins. Sacramento again.
L.
Minnesota.
L.
Indiana.
L.
Spurs.
L.
Lakers.
Hey. LL Cool J.
Toronto.
L.
Utah.
L.
Denver.
L.
Clippers.
L.
Toronto.
L.
Miami.
Oh God.
Damn.
That's March. That is March right there. Okay? That's the end of March. All right?
Jesus Christ.
And now we're in April. Okay? April.
How many games in April?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in April.
Okay, now we gotta put Porzingis in there.
Okay, we'll put KP in there. Chicago. And
we can win.
W.
Okay, we'll take a W there. All right, Orlando.
I don't want to lose to Orlando 4 times. I think we can get a W.
Hold on. But Chicago cleaned this up last year, so that could be an L.
I know.
Clean us up.
You know what? Okay, Orlando sweep us this year.
Yeah, they're sweeping us. I think so. Houston.
L.
Come on.
Washington.
If KP's back,
W.
yes.
Okay, give us a W. Chicago.
Yes.
Detroit.
W.
So you giving us?
L.
So y'all, Detroit. The last one, Detroit, is a loss.
Oh, this the annoying Knicks fan. This the annoying that takes the wankers. The Knicks do this every year.
Okay,
they win.
So that's giving us 10 wins. 10 wins the remainder of the season. That gives us 19 wins for the season.
And what I say in the beginning of the season,
So,
no
we'll
more
see.
than 20 or 25. With 20
Damn, I thought we was gonna at least get 36. I thought we was gonna play hard, but
What?
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we'll look at that
All right,
again.
chat.
You know, we'll look at that again. I appreciate you guys for staying on with me.
You already know, man.
Hey, so can I say one thing?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Isaiah.
Two things.
Yeah.
It's so funny how Fizz doesn't want to give up on this lineup, but he gave up on their young lineup because they lost games. I just wanted to point
like
that
the
out.
younger lineup.
I just wanted to point that out that he didn't like that lineup because in those games when it was Frank, Dot, Knox, Vonleh, and Mitch, he didn't like that because they lost. It's kind of funny how this lineup has lost to all the lottery teams, and he doesn't want to change this lineup.
Right.
I just wanted to point that out to people.
Yeah, well,
that's funny.
I guess we save that for the next stream, man. I don't know about what's gonna happen with Christmas. I may or may not be on. I don't know how many people I'll even get on anyway, because it's Christmas. But we'll see what's up. Yeah, the game is early in the day. The game is like 1 o'clock. For me, around 1 o'clock, really ain't things not gonna be getting popping in my house until about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So.
All right.
I may be on.
Yeah, you do sound like a black homo. I'm not gonna lie to you, Sam.
Yeah, you know how black people do. You gotta start the things late.
But I mean, also I wanted to say one thing. If you don't go on this, if you don't do a stream sim, I just want to say happy holidays, everybody. God bless.
Definitely.
Be safe. Be kind to somebody, because someone out there is not getting a gift or anything. But God bless everybody. Hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas. Even you, Troy Flint. And Lily Phillips.
Yeah, he's a troll. He's a troll, bro.
I'm not even trying to be negative right now, Mark. I'm just God bless everybody. Except the Prince. I don't like the Prince. I want to fight the Prince. Screw the Prince.
Prince is big man because
Prince. I want all the smoke, Prince. I want all the smoke, Prince.
All right, fellas. We about to head up out of here. Have a great. If I don't see you guys on Christmas, if I don't get the chance to talk to you guys on Christmas, please have a great holiday. I definitely talk to you after Christmas. The game after Christmas, the 27th, I think I'll be, my basketball team will be at a tournament. I should be home that night, though. But anyway, if I don't see you, have a great holiday. And but you'll get a notification if I'm on. All right? Peace, y'all. I don't know what they're playing in the background, but, it is what it is. How the chat goes sometimes. Peace.
Prince Moody ain't staying.
God bless y'all.
Y'all be tripping sometimes.
Hey, it's all right. We don't want all the smoke with Prince, man. Prince with his big fat ass head.
This chat, if you watch the chat, I never seen so many Moody fans in my life.
They can still hear you.
Oh, shit.
Listen to you, man. We out, ladies and gentlemen. They don't even know. They don't even know what's going on. See, sometimes you gotta catch them. Sometimes you gotta catch them because they be tripping sometimes.
Listen,
man.
I'm fighting Prince and his kids.
Peace, y'all.